Absolutely incredible. Oh, I knew I forgot to take some assets off. Hello, everyone. How's it going? Hey, Zach. Hey, Iyashi. Thank you for the 23 months. Damn, you've almost been here for 2 years, bro. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Hello, Sharon. Hello, Ian. Hey, Christy. Hey, Metal Greymon. Hey, Galaxy. Hey, Pepsi Doggo. What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? It's me, your Cyber Dragon VTuber NJChef. I apologize for the lateness of the switch up, but I had to wait. I had to wait a bit. Hi, Sunsteel. We weren't entirely sure if the New York Stock Exchange was going to stream today, so I ended up making my schedule on the premise that they weren't streaming today. So that's why I set my original stream time for 7. But then we figured out that we were able to stream tonight, and I was just like, okay, I already made my schedule, so just tell me what time y'all want to start, and then I can probably just kick my stream back. Because in general, I don't like to stream on days that the Snark crew are streaming in general. So if I do end up sharing a stream day, I'll stream before they do, which is exactly what just happened today. So we're here and we're just vibing, right? That is why y'all are getting the early stream today. Hi, Tapper. Hi, Sunny. Your mother was a hamster and your father smelled of elderberries. Oh my god. I farted in your general direction. There's another movie I could fucking quote. There's a whole ass other movie I can quote. Jesus. Is it a new month? It is a new month. Okay, hold on. There we go. That should have changed things a bit. Oops. There it is. Okay. New month, which means new monthly sub goal. New month, aka new monthly sub goal. There it is. Reset and good to go. Hope y'all are doing well. It is. You done? Damn. Thanks, Yashi. Jesus. Appreciate that. Uh-oh. Where did that go? Son of a... Hold on. See, that's what I thought. Hang on a second. Are we good? We're good. All right. I had to reset that for a hot second. Oh, I got brutalized, y'all. Damn. It is. You're right. It is no longer Pride Month. It is now Wrath Month. Or to quote another meme. Just a month? Ha! Shit's gay all year round. Damn right. Damn right. Which is my way of saying, you see this, chat? You see this? That shit's not going anywhere. That shit's not going anywhere. Did you know there's a 100k bit donation? I watched someone get pelted with all 100k bits last night. That's a lot of bits, Sunseal. Holy cow. That's a lot of bits. I don't think I have a bit redeemed that large, but damn, that's a bit wild. Day 1 of a new month and I'm fucking done with it already. Oh no. Oh no, Sunny. I am so sorry. What happened? Oh no, are you okay? Are you good? Oh no, what happened, friendo? What happened? God dang. There's an LGBTQIA plus safe space, but the real question is are the LGBTQIA safe space? Would they be safe in space? Is the question of the century. I don't see why not, Zach. We should just do what the X-Men did and colonize Mars at this point. Also, hey Snake, how you doing? Cutie, no you. No you. No you. I'm too young for this shit, me. I'm too old for a lot of people's shit right now. All right, I'm too old for a lot of people's shit right now. Yes, Tapper, what's going on? What's going on, Tapper? How are you? I hope y'all are doing well today, honestly. I also apologize for, guess whose throw packets just showed up on the front porch. Oh, awesome. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Excellent, excellent. Just gonna leave something here about 2 things. I have to go 1, and then of course the other one you throw at me. Nice shot, Daxon. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you have a wonderful day, Daxon. Hey Daxon. Hey Daxon. Hey Daxon. Hey Daxon. Have a wonderful day, good boy. LGBT safe space is nice, but we need some change. I propose transphobe unsafe space where we kill them on sight. Iyashi, I 110% agree. Hell yes. Unwarranted in front of unprovoked, sir, in front of my salad. I say this a lot, but honestly, legitimately, chat, I love the power you give me. I'm coughing my lungs out. Thursday I helped a friend move, which was more dust. Friday I could barely breathe. Got better Saturday. Sunday my father, came back when I wasn't around and just did more of it. Oh God. So you know, I'm choking on dust again, and I'm 1,110% done. Sonny, I am so sorry to hear that, bro. God damn. Oh, Pepsi, I'm so sorry to hear that. Yo, I'm hugging all of you. God dang. I'm giving all of you hugs, okay? God dang it. I am definitely sending something sussy via throwing this spicy ASMR can be good God, Snake, hello, what? Good God. Hello? Hello? What do you mean by that? What do you mean? What do you mean? Thank you, genuinely needed that. Gotta go now, or we're going to go to makeshift here. Oh yeah, I know, Daxon. I know you DM'd me. You DM'd me about that. I am sending you all the love, friend. I'm sending you all the love, friend. I'm so sorry. Chef is gonna get ghosted, but not in the usual way. Jesus. In the pepper way. Oh my god. No, I cannot. I cannot. I like spicy food, but ghost pepper? No, that will kill me. This kills the chef. This kills the chef. Nah. Oh, Tapper, I just saw the photo you shared on Discord. That's adorable. That's so cute. That's so cute. Oh. 60 million Scovilles is pure capsaicin. I figured. Yeah, like I like spicy stuff, but stuff like ghost peppers or like the Carolina Reaper, I can't. No. No. I can't handle that. My ass cannot, literally. In this case, literally. Think Pepper X is 2.5 million? I would think so. I believe you are correct. See, all right, now I have to hang on. Pepper X, the world's new hottest pepper. Yeah. Yeah, hotter than a Carolina Reaper. Here we go. Pepper X, which, like the Carolina Reaper, was developed by Curry and his Pucker Butt Pepper Company. What a fucking name. Has an average rating of 2,693,000 Scoville heat units. Holy shit. 2.6 million Scoville units. God damn. That might actually kill me. That might actually kill me. What's the within the last couple of days I got a Ninja Turtle action. Oh, that's awesome, Zach. Nice. Awesome. Now, like, again, don't get me wrong. I love spicy food, right? The cartoon is as old as I am. Same, Sonny. Same. I love spicy food, right? I love cooking with like gochujang and gochugaru. I have a bottle of Bird 12-month streak, 20 months at tier 1 overall. You can never be rid of me, Bird. I hope that's the case. I hope that's the case because genuinely you're an awesome person to have around. So thank you. You and your surprise bird facts. You and your surprise bird facts. What's it called? What was I even saying? Oh yeah, I love spicy food, right? I've cooked a lot. I cook a lot of Korean style dishes with like gochujang, gochugaru, spicy kimchi. I have a bottle of sriracha, right? I've got a jar of chili crisp oil, right? I love spicy food. But like really hot peppers? No, I can't. I cannot. I would die on the spot. I would just poof, evaporate into a puff of smoke, gone. Rainbow Bright also just turned 40. Bird, I think reading that just gave me psychic damage. Holy cow. Bird, I think reading that just gave me psychic damage. Holy moly. Good God. That's wild. That's absolutely wild. I only watched like 4 episodes of that, it still gave me psychic damage. Fair. Fair. So I have been working on a lot of stuff behind the scenes. Mostly stuff that I'm trying to get sorted out. Trying to get stuff sorted out for my Ko-fi page as well as the Discord. And what that boils down to is I'm gonna be redoing my Ko-fi page, and people who donate to the Ko-fi page or support monthly will receive the same perks as if you were a YouTube channel member, right? And in a roundabout way, I'm extending YouTube channel member perks. I want to rather extend YouTube channel member perks to Twitch subscribers as well. And what that's going to entail is I plan, it's probably not going to be this week because it's going to be a very short and busy week, because by Thursday, I am going to be on the road for 4th of July holiday shenanigans with the family, and I'm probably not going to be back home until Saturday evening or Sunday morning. But regardless, what I plan to do is open up a section on the Discord server where if you link your Twitch and or YouTube account to your Discord account, you will gain access to a subscribers and YouTube members and Ko-fi supporters only section of the Discord, where I will also be showing off some things that let's just say that the general public hasn't seen yet. For example, last night, it was meant to be on Saturday night, but last night was our monthly members only movie night for June. Literally on the last day of June. Now that I think about it, literally on the last day of June. So we were hanging out, we were watching Emperor's New Groove, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. And what the channel members got to see in motion for the first time was something I'm cooking up for later this month. Because as I've mentioned on previous streams, July 21st is my 6-year streamiversary. And I have some fun things planned for that. I have some fun things planned for that, so keep your eye open for that. But that is the plan. That is going to be the plan. So if you either support me on my Ko-fi page, are a YouTube channel member, or a Twitch subscriber, there's some fun things, some fun, unique things coming your way very, very soon. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Some big changes coming down. Big changes coming up the pike. So yeah, it's gonna be great. I don't know how much I'll be able to get done this week, but I know I will, once I sit down after stream and finish editing what I need to edit, I can start scheduling some stuff to go out on the YouTube channel, because that is what I was currently in the middle of. because the YouTube channel has unfortunately been a tiny bit quiet, mostly because I've been so goddamn busy outside of like simulcasted streams. So I'm working to fix that. Hey, Akito, what's going on, buddy? How are you? I saw Zach. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. God, seeing those figures again just makes me feel old. Holy cow. Older than I already am. Jesus H. Good God, Snake. Goodness gracious. Yep, that's a neat first thing to see. Oh, my Lord, Akito. Having a bit of a day, not much worth talking about during a chill stream. Well, I am sending you all the good vibes and hugs regardless, Akito. Yeah. Figures only released this year. Now, nice. First project of the month done and off the list. Awesome, Tapper. Yeah, very good. New Uncle Roger video. Ooh, nice. Nice, Sunseal. Nice. I might check that out, yeah. Talked about... Yeah. No, I remember seeing that. Akito. I am very sorry that happened, and I'm sending you all the good vibes, my friend. Good God Almighty. I am so sorry to hear that. Leg breakage. Exactly, Sonny. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Was there anything else I wanted to talk about / announce today? I don't know how good of an idea this is telling you guys but I did update my throne page. I did in fact update my throne page. I removed some things, I added some things. I basically I went through my throne wish list and I just started cleaning things up a bit. So, again, no pressure, but if you are so inclined, there. I took a lot of things off the throne wish list, honestly. I took a lot of things off the throne wish list. There's only 16. There's only 16 items on my throne currently at the moment. Again, no pressure at all. But if you are so inclined, it's been updated. I'm trying... Snake, I'm trying to keep my throne sus free. But all I'm going to say is you can suggest items for my throne. Okay? That is something you can do. Yes. No, that is too much power. Oh my God. Bird, you might be right. Oh dear Lord. Zora. Hello, Zora the side character. Amazing name. Building a throne, how dramatic are you taking it? You remember the Lord of the Rings movies? You know the throne of Gondor? how that sat really, really high up on a dais. Something like that. Something like that. Not the steward's throne. No. Like the actual throne of Gondor. Like for the king of Gondor and Arnor. Like that high up. Like that high up. Oh god, no, understood, Tapper. Understood. Understood. A good king is the right amount of overly dramatic. Agreed, Zora. Agreed. 100% agreed. I am curious when the next time you plan to check out some of Dylan's stuff. Oh, Zach. You know, it's a good thing you asked. It's funny. It's funny you ask that, Zach. It's funny you ask that. You want to know why? Zach, it's funny. It is funny you ask that. You want to know why? Because the answer is now. The answer is now. Because Dylan's been busy. Because Dylan has been busy. So, hold on. I just remembered. Did I turn on that audio source? No, I did not. Ah, there we go. Okay, there we are. There we are. Okay. Okie dokley. Oakley dokley neighbor. All right. Chat. Okie dokes. Where did we even leave off? Where do we even leave off with Dylan's shenanigans? Where do we even leave off with Dylan's shenanigans? I know we saw the strawberry Bavarian creamer, which fucking kills me every time. There are some one-liners in that one that get me every fucking time. Chat, let me tell you. I think we did ranch cornbread last time. So it's everything from tapioca pudding all the way to the Charleston Chewies. Okay. All right. I believe that is the case. Which means I know where we're starting, chat. 3, 2, 1, go.
Tapioca pudding from the Great Depression. There's a few things in this world that I don't understand, like salad spinners. Chief among them being the very old-fashioned, just toss tapioca. Ridiculous. 4 cups of new juice. Ooh, evaporated milk. Shut your mouth, Johnny. It's the Depression. You're lucky you're not licking plaster off the walls.
You look like you're not licking plaster off the walls.
Tapioca. Not much has changed. Modern one is 1 gram lighter. Mix. Beating in the yolks of 2 eggs. Keep the whites. Cook it over boiling water.
Fire!
A watch pot never boiled.
Oh, there's the musical. There's the musical comedy.
She's so fancy. You're looking like a reanimated mannequin.
You look like a reanimated mannequin.
White stiff. Shall we see if we can do it by hand?
Oh my god.
12 minutes. Combine the two. Quite thin. Pour and chill. Ooh.
No thanks.
Whoa. Very different. Crazy creamy. It would be a treat. Just a weird texture. I'm torn. Tapioca pudding from the Great
No, Bird, I'm with you. I just tapioca, I can't. Tapioca is one of the things I can't. So I don't think this one is gonna do it any favors for me. I just no. I just, thanks, but no thanks is what I'm gonna say. I like chocolate tapioca pudding. To be honest, you know what? That's fair. That's entirely fair, Snake. I get that. I prefer popping boba to popping boba to tapioca boba. Fair. Yeah. It's just one of those. It's just one of those things where like, yeah, no, I'm good. Okay.
A top of the Tetons pie from '89. This is a Wyoming recipe from out north in Jackson. Go, folks! Good folks up
Wyoming.
There. Some of them are all hat and no cattle.
All hat and no cattle.
One sweetened coconut, a cup of chalky chips, and a cup of pecans. Just throw it into a prepared pie shell. I like Judy. Unfortunately, she's asking for a 10-inch.
10-inch.
One of those. I have a 9-inch here, which should work.
Manifesting.
A cup of brown sugar and a 1/4 cup of sugar.
Sugar.
A half cup of corn syrup.
What
the? They can afford the dental work up there. No, never mind. 4 eggies.
4
The
eggies!
sugars seems immiscible. Pinch of salt, tablespoon of melted butter. Evenly dumped. Maybe don't pour it all in since we're not up to Judy's standard.
Judy's standard?
Who put this oven here?
I remember.
For about an hour. Good. I like magic cookie bars, but in a pie. Lovely. Everyone said, thank you, Judy. You did a great
Thank you,
job.
Judy.
Chunky pie.
It's a very
top of
chunky
the
pie.
tea
I'd make this. I would make this. Honestly, it looks good. Chef, do you have a 10-inch? Would you like to find out? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was rude. That was rude. Would you like to know more? Tapioca pudding recipe. Why did his evaporated milk look so clear? I have no idea. Lou number? Very good question. Very good question. Also, Sunseal, thank you. I appreciate that reference. Would you like to know more? Good. Good. 10 out of 10. Fucking 10 out of 10. What is this nightmare?
Powder cake from World War II. This has to be one of the most interesting recipes I've come across. We start with a cup and a quarter of
Interesting how?
eggs. That's right, eggies can be dry, crusty, mushy. Cup of 4x sugar, just dead people talk for powdered sugar. Whisking together with a cup and a quarter of warm water. Like eggs, but at Goodwill. Some hand-me-down eggs.
Goodwill
Sitting in a
eggs.
stamped cup of powdered milk. Watch out, y'all.
What?
Some powdered wild. 2 teaspoons of floof powder. Boop. And 3 teaspoons of cinnamon.
Cinnamon. That's a lot. Ooh.
Whisking thoroughly. And into a greased 8-inch square. Ribbons. 350 5 minutes. Did you notice anything about that? There's no flour or any alternative. $10, it comes out an omelet. Wow.
$10, it comes out an omelet.
It's a pet. It's a pillar of pet.
Oh my God, Dylan.
Squidgy. I'm impressed.
Squidgy.
Confuse many. What are you?
What
Flavor,
are
egg.
you?
Texture, chewy. It's
Chewy.
novel.
Novel.
A powder cake from World War II. This has to be
Squidgy, I think, is the perfect word to describe that. Because I have no idea what that was. Good God almighty. Goodwill eggs have the same energy as slightly used milk. Akito. Ooh. Ooh, I don't like the mental image slightly used milk just gave me. I don't. Don't like that. Don't like that. I have a story about a Goodwill that happened recently near me. Someone found a human skeleton in the woods and dumped it in the Goodwill deposit bin. Zora, what the fuck? Zora, what the fuck? What the Y'all, it's only 4:45 p.m. in the afternoon for me. What the hell is going on? My God. Oh God. You know what? Fair. Yeah. That gave Chef the EBGBs. Tapper, you are right. You are absolutely right. My God. Typically, human skeletons don't stay together unless they have the meat on. Yeah. Someone got boned in that deal. Remember. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Holy moly. What is this nightmare?
A soda cracker pie from 1940. Luckily, when this recipe was written, the Great Depression was mostly over. Oh boy! Just in time for World War II. Start with the whites of 3 eggs. Let go.
Let go.
Stiff while slowly adding a cup of sugar. Ready, set. This is ridiculous. Good Lord. All right. And don't suggest fresh eggs. Coarsely crushed 15 soda crackers. Dylan, what is a soda cracker?
What is a soda cracker?
For saltines. Lovely
Yes.
squares of cardboard and sawdust.
Cardboard
Some
and
chopped
sawdust.
nuts, and some black walnuts. The
Every bad's
And
nut.
we just fold it all together. Nice crunchy.
Crunchy.
Floof powder. Bit of nilla. Turning into a shallow greased pie plate. Oh, not much to this, is there? 325 until golden.
Oh, it's a pie.
It's a pie.
A pie.
Honestly, I would try this.
Humble, like considering what's in it. Amazing. Chewy, light, refreshing. Reminds me of food for the gods in baking yesterday.
Yeah, I was about to say that's very food for the gods like.
Soda cracker pie from 1940.
That is very food for the gods alike, and I would try that. Yeah, I would try that. I'm sure Dylan would like every man's nut. Hey, fucking yo. Hey, fucking yo. I don't know why, but now I'm just remembering the brown sugar cookies that I made in my baking class once and I made multiple times at home. Ooh, nice. Sounds like a fun time, Zach. Yeah. Chef, you have nut, right? The last time I checked, I have 2 of them. Yes, why do you ask? That's not any worse than the weird shit that came out of my son's Fallout cookbook. Oh God, Akido. I can imagine. Good God. All right, last of the new ones, chat.
Charleston Chewies from 69. Straight from the South Carolina.
Nice, 69.
Looks like a heart attack. First, we melt some butter. How much? A cup.
A cup.
Woo, you coming? Woo! I like in the South. Butter. Anything else? Butter. Okay.
Butter.
2 cups of brown sugar. 2
Egg.
2 cups of flour. Pinch of salt. A quarter.
Oh my God, Chat.
Don't confuse this with
He
the Charleston
replaced
Chew.
the clock,
Tiny
finally.
Good taste. Nor is this the Charleston, which was a TikTok dance before TikTok. Ask your grandfather's grandfather about
Grandfather's
it.
grandfather.
You have to dig him up. He'd be kind of soupy. 2 cups
Soupy,
of
yeah.
pecans. I used to say pecans before I was bludgeoned with a shoe in New Orleans, Louisiana. I now say pecans.
Now I say pecans.
Into a 9x9. What? Too much. Rub flat. Rub? I don't want to rub anything. Whose grandma's out rubbing stuff?
Whose grandma is out rubbing stuff? That's a quote. That's a fucking quote. Oh my God. Whose grandma's out there rubbing stuff?
Wow. Crispy on the outside. Looks to be fudgy on the inside. Man, never. The cracking recipe is what this is.
Yeah, I would. This sounds good.
Charleston Chewies from 69. Straight from the South Carolina Low Country, this recipe looks like
Hang
a heart
on,
attack.
chat.
First, we melt some butter.
Look, he finally replaced the clock. He no longer has a broken clock. Huzzah! Dylan's the kind of cowboy who enjoys the rodeo for all the bulls. Hey, yo. Pecan pie is one of my favorite. Pecans are one of my favorite nuts, honestly. I love them. They're delicious. They're very, very tasty. Riddle me this. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck 7 bodies off a cliff? Zora! What the A, what the fuck? B, that joke took a turn. Holy shit. Amazing. Amazing. The last video was a missed opportunity for an Apollo Dean joke. I had that same brainwave, Sunseal. Yeah, I had that same brainwave. One of your favorite nuts. Let me guess, your favorite nut doesn't come from a plant. Y'all. My favorite nut doesn't come from a plant. Incredible. Thank you, Christy. Thank you, Christy, for the nut button. I appreciate that. Oh my God. Oh, jeez, snake. Quarter the cherries in half. I'm gonna make a stroke out. Precisely what realm of mathematics do you inhabit? Chat was already unhinged before this, Tapper. Let's be real here. Swear to God, I AFK for a minute. Y'all get even hornier than me. I don't know what's going on, Sonny. Something chat reflects the streamer, I guess. I don't know. I know we're so far behind schedule. I did notice that, Snake. Yes, I did notice that. Thank you. I will check that out in a little bit. I appreciate that. Unbelievable. Y'all are wild, and I appreciate it. All right. What old school, Dylan? You know what? Since there's a lot of nuts going on in chat right now. I know what I said.
Peanut brittle from 1909. Now, I ain't never done did a peanut brittle, but I done been heard of it before. 3 cups of Spanish peanuts. What are Spanish peanuts? Well, like other Europeans, these still have the skins on. Now into a saucepan goes 2 cups of sugar, 1 cup of the newly invented corn syrup, wet crab, and a half cup of water. Mix. Now we cook this to 250 degrees Fahrenheit. Fire up! Bubble, bubble! Once we reach that temperature, the firm ball stage, we add in the nuts. I don't know what a firm ball is, but they should probably see a doctor. Oh! Keep stirring until we reach 300 degrees, at which point we remove from heat and add in a bit of butter and a pinch of baking soda. Who needs measurements? Off! Butter. Now quickly, we need a pinch. How much is the pinch?
I don't know.
Creamy. Quickly onto a prepared baking sheet. That was very stressful. Now we just let this cool as you read my cookbook. Please. Last instruction is a simple one, but it's a little bit barbaric.
Bang!
It would seem you don't have to quite apply that much force.
There's peanut brittle in the dining room. They'll be busting nuts on camera.
Here we are.
There it is. There it is. There it is. Oh.
You know, this is pretty good, but you gotta have some strong chompers. Mm-hmm. Tis distinctly old-fashioned, take that how you will. Though if you're allergic to peanuts, that's one hell of a way to go out.
That's one hell of a way to go out.
1909.
Never thought I'd be busting nuts on camera. That's a Dylan quote y'all seem to like a lot, honestly. That's a Dylan quote y'all seem to like a lot. Time for the Philly baking themed OnlyFans. Oh my god, remember, I remember that. There's peanut brittle in the dining room. This crowd sure loves to nut. Zora, there are people in this chat who love my ASMR videos and my deep flirty voice. Because, yes. Did you just kill my blender? Thank you. That's one of my favorite videos, Galaxy Prime. Yeah. Hang on. What do we got? Oh, wait. Yes, this one. I love this one. This one's a nightmare.
Syrup cake,
but I would still try this. I don't care.
For chocolate syrup in the kitchen and a few in the bedroom. But does it make a
difference? That's how I ended up with 2 kids. Jesus, Akino.
Creamed with a cup of sugar. 4 eggs. And now for 1.5 cups of chocolate syrup.
Chocolate syrup.
Excessive.
That's a lot of syrup.
Leave it to the Americans. If it looks like oil, it must be good. Dry ingredients are 1 1/3 cup of flour and a half teaspoon of floof powder.
Floof powder. You're not wrong, Akino.
We'll need a greased 9-inch.
You heard me.
It smells good. I mean, no, it's wrong. We bake at 325 for around an hour. Check yours with a toothpick. You know our book's out this month.
This month. Hi, knives!
Grease your pan well. Mine almost stuck. The icing is just a cup of powdered sugar, adding syrup until thick.
What kind of Yankee Doodle dandy shit?
Why do you look good? Senseless. Hemorrhage.
I'm going to hemorrhage. I would try this.
That is a solid easy cake.
Yeah.
Darn good idea.
Yeah, I would try this.
A chocolate syrup cake.
I would try this.
Now there's many uses.
I would not ironically try this. Good God, Snake! I just read your message. Holy Jesus! Oh my god. How you doing, Niles? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. We need a deep 9-inch, don't we all? Damn, Galaxy. Alright. Alright, somebody in chat mentioned the secret cornbread earlier, so you know what? Here we go.
Secret cornbread from 87. Now I want you to try and guess what the third ingredient in this bread is, because I can guarantee you're not gonna get it.
Oh
it's
no.
It's an easy 3-2-1 recipe, so we're gonna start with 3 eggs, followed by 2 boxes of Jiffy cornbread mix. Let me in. Finally, 1 entire 15-ounce jar of
Cheese Whiz. Oh no.
Heat it up first because it currently resembles silicone. I'm really looking forward to this. Oh no! Cheesy, all right. Cheese Whiz.
Cheese Whiz.
And into a well-greased 9x13. It's extraterrestrial. Be sure to smooth it out. Thank you. I'd hate to have an uneven disaster. That would be terrible. Bake it 375 until golden brown. 20 to 25 minutes. My cookbook, Baking Yesteryear, is officially out today. Yes, the time has come. You know, I'm scared because this smells good.
Oh.
Seriously, this is killer. If you don't believe me, try it. This is dangerous. Secret cornbread from 87.
Chat, you know what the worst part is? I kind of want to try that. I kind of want to try that. Also, thank you for that hydrate routine, Tab. I appreciate you. I am sleepy. Found out the eddies I had gave a mild psychoactive effect, apparently. Oh, God, Knives. Are you good? Knives, you good? Made the ranch. I remember you posting about the ranch cornbread, Lunumber. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm good. Good to know. Hi, Comey. Hey, Comey, I see you. I see you lurking over there, friendo. How you doing? Where's the other? There's the other cornbread. There's the other cornbread recipe. Here we go, chat. Just a sleepy day? Understood, Knives. Understood.
Ranch cornbread from '87. This
Ranch cornbread.
5 secret cornbread recipes believed to be the lost sacred texts of Nebraska. Bake them all.
Lunchy lunch? Nice.
Like the first
Make them all?
3, 2, 1
Die.
recipe, meaning we start with 3 eggies.
Eggies.
2 boxes of plain cornbread mix by the power of the Midwest.
By the power of the Midwest.
And as you may have guessed, 1 entire 16 fluid ounce bottle of
ranch.
I've stopped being surprised and started becoming impressed. Corn ranch.
Ranch.
By 9 for a gourmet
Huh.
option. Are you taking the piss? Prickle?
Prickle?
On a pack of ranch seasoning. The volume of ranch.
The volume of ranch.
What type of Nebraska voodoo is this? $3.75 for 25 minutes. It really
Nebraska, are you okay? Good question, Middle Greymon.
Dang. It's exactly like a ranch Dorito.
Tastes exactly like a ranch Dorito.
Turned as to why I like it. Ranch cornbread from '87.
That's wild. That's wild, y'all. Out of morbid curiosity, I would try that recipe. Out of morbid curiosity, I would try that recipe. Holy Jesus. Nebraska isn't real, psyop. You know what else isn't real and is also a psyop, Christy? Ohio. We've been over this. Speaking of which,
Ohio Buckeyes from 1980. You know, until now, I thought Buckeyes was a condition similar to buck teeth, but it appears to be a candy. Sorry,
Appears to be candy.
Long exit at Cape Canaveral and ended up
got
getting
probed for free.
Begin with half a cup of soft butter, followed by a cup and a half of peanut butter. It says chunky okay, smooth preferred. Where have I heard that before?
Where have I had that before?
To be 6'5" and well endowed. Beat together with a pinch of salt and a tablespoon of Nilla. Oh boy,
Nilla.
butter on butter. No one tell Paula Dean she'll bust in like the Kool-Aid man. Half cups of powdered sugar.
That's a lot of powdered sugar.
Pardon me, this is getting rather stiff. Problematically
stiff, like puberty.
It's too dry, just add a bit of water. Scoop. Apparently these are named after the seed of the buckeye tree, which kills humans and cattle. Ohio, you do you.
Ohio, you do you.
Meanwhile, 2.5 cups of semi-sweet chalky chips, plus about a tablespoon of shortening or coconut oil. Just helps it stay smooth. Double boiler. Fire! Toothpick and dip. But not all the way. You gotta leave a little bald spot. Done.
Gotta leave a bald spot. Ohio is real, it's just not a real city. It's a black hole of lost dreams and wasted potential.
1980. You know, until now, I thought Buckeyes was a condition.
Oh my God, Knives, you're so right, though. No, Ohio is where the secret wolf goon cave is. Not to be confused with the Silent Hill goon cave or the Silent Hill wolf goon cave. You know what, Christine, you're right. I forgot about those. Jesus! I forgot about those. The Deep Goon Cave lore. Deep Goon Cave, you say? Alright. Nebraska cookie is the Caribbean Creole voodoo of white people. That is a strong statement, Sunseal. That is a strong statement. Oh my goodness. That is a strong statement, but you know what? I feel like you're right. Sunseal, I feel like you're right, though. I don't disagree, right, Knives? It's just off the wall enough to be correct. Holy shit. Oh my God. That's wild. That's actually wild. Oh my God. All right. Have you started roll for sandwich? I have not, Knives. No, I have not yet. Now I just need to pray my clay didn't get pre-baked in the attic. Oh no, Tapper. Oh no. Hang on, gotta use season 1. Thank you, Knives. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Nice shot, Zach. Thanks. Nice shot, Zach. Thank you. Good God. Roll for Sandwich Season 1. Oh, let's see. What do we have here? Oh. Oh, no. Oh, no, knives. Ooh. Ooh, this looks fun. Me, Kay, and another friend are binging. Gets more crazy as it goes on. Oh, my goodness. We're on Season 4, I think. Nice. 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 Oh, I will. I will keep those in mind, Knives. I will keep those in mind. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Still so glad Chef hasn't heard of How To Basic yet. How To Basic is... Oh my god. I've heard of How To Basic. I've not seen any of their content, though. I didn't get an answer. Did you have a chance to watch that Make Spaghetti video I shared in your Discord? Yes, Akito, I have seen that. Yes, Akito, I have seen that. It's very funny. It's very, very funny. I was about to say, I do believe, Snake, yes, you did. I see the DM now. I see the DM now. How did you avoid Drunk Ray showing those off at John Cons? I don't know, Christy. I don't know. Okay, hang on. We got one. All right, 1 second. 1 second. Here we are. Okay. How to make a vegan curry. Oh, Lord. All right, what do we got here? What do we have here, chat? What do we have here? Uh-oh. Kitchen How To Basic. Cooking up a storm. Okay, this honestly looks really good. Prepare the ingredients. I'm not gonna lie, this sounds really, really good. Mexican head nodding. There you go, Knives. Dice the tomatoes. Okay, okay. Dicing tomatoes is a pain in the ass, so I feel that. So I feel that. Oh, there's a way easier way to go about that. There's a way easier way to go about that. Hi, Warlock. How you doing? How you doing? To be fair, Chef, we've been trained. You know what? Not Knives. That's fair. Yeah, that's entirely fair. You're correct. You are correct. We were trained. Yes. Mushrooms. I would try this recipe. This recipe looks really fucking good. Like, legitimately. Garlic. Smash. This looks really, I might need to go back to that recipe. So I wanna try this. Imagine not having a garlic smashing hammer. Oh my god, Akito. True, Knives. Yes, yes, you're right. You are right. You're absolutely correct. Tofu. I should get more tofu. I should add tofu to my shopping list. Hold on. hold on. Hold on. I should add tofu to my shopping list. I really should add tofu to my shopping list. That's a nice ass cooking range. Started last time for one team was eliminated after the first day? Jesus Christ, Fetch. What? That's crazy. Just the first day? What the hell? Long burner. Yeah, Sunseal. Yeah. God, that just... Oh, God. That just puts long man into my brain. That fucking commercial series will never not make me laugh. Holy shit. Well, that commercial series will never not make me laugh. Long man, come on. It's so good. It is a perfect series of commercials. It really is. It really is, though. I'm dreading what's going to happen. Oh, that sounds delicious, Bird. Holy moly. Yeah. That sounds great. Add other can of coconut milk. Okay. All right. Hey, King Frankie, how's it going? How you doing? Stares intensely. Oh no. Now I want a vegetable curry. Holy Jesus. The eggs, they call to it. Will check succeeded. Oh. Passing the willpower check. Holy fuck. That's insanity. Soy sauce. I non-ironically said I passed by Will Save recently on not buy the stand-up base from work. Is this a Call of Cthulhu campaign? The sand loss is real. Oh my god. Basil, tomatoes. Y'all, this looks tasty as hell. Like, legitimately, this looks tasty as fuck. Goddamn. Needs more egg. For real though, it looks tasty. Yeah, call me. And there's the tofu. Oh, damn. Man, now I want curry. Yeah. Yeah, call me. Yeah. Yeah. I'd give it a try. Eggs out there threatening a jump scare. It came back. Oh my god, yeah. The eggs are there. Wait. Eggy emotes in chat if you've got them. Eggy emotes in chat if you got them. Oh god. What the fuck? thinking? Look, chat. Oh my god. The new Evil Dead movie is wild. Oh my god. Oh lord. Fresh lime juice. Holy Jesus. Insidious Chapter 3 up in here. Hey, Gelfer. And God beckons. I think it's gonna end up a PTSD simulation. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. It comes. It is risen. Oh my fucking god, that was amazing. Holy shit. There it is, perfectly balanced. As all eggs are. Dude, I'm sold. Same, Kobe. Same. I have, okay. I have heard of How to Basic before, right? I've heard of How to Basic before. I've never really actually seen any of their videos. I've never actually seen any of their videos until today. Until today. That shit was funny. Holy shit. That shit was funny. My god. You know, there's a very simple answer to that question. There's a very simple answer to that question, Akito. I have been binging a lot of true crime videos on YouTube lately. So my recommendations on YouTube are all over the fucking place. I've been watching a lot of true crime videos and listening to a lot of true crime podcasts lately. Oh, that checks out. Yeah. Holy god. Okay. Chef is the information murder porn enjoyer. I like legitimately, okay, no, seriously, legitimately, true crime is one of those things I love watching, and I love like reading about. So like it's very fun. To me, it's very fun. You know what I mean? To me, it's very fun. Oh shit, are my sound alerts on? Yes, they are. Are my alerts on in general? Hello? What the fuck? They should be. I am one of the few Scorpios I know who's not into true crime. Fair. Fair. There it is. Wow. That was very delayed. But King Frankie, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the 2 months. Thank you, thank you. 1 down, 9 to go. Kind of like how my recommendations have been manga recaps and funk music. Yeah, no, I get that. That's, yeah, you see what I mean, Akito? You see what I mean? Yeah, it's... I don't know how, right? I don't know how I got on such a true crime kick lately, but... Not even lately, but like I've been a true crime enjoyer for a hot minute. It's just very, very fun to listen to. You know what I mean? As weird as that sounds, I know some of the cases that are tackled are horrific, absolutely horrific. But but just there's a lot of really good true crime YouTube channels out there, right? Probably two of my favorites, and I'll shout them out by name. Probably two of my favorite true crime channels on YouTube if you want to check them out yourself. Coffee House Crime and That Chapter. Coffee House Crime and That Chapter are two very, very good true crime channels. I also would highly recommend Dire Trip. Dire Trip's another good one. It's less true. Well, no, hold on. There's another one that does true crime. It's oh God, hold on. I'm trying to remember names at the moment. Give me a second. Lazy Masquerade. Lazy Masquerade is another good one. So, Coffee House Crime, That Chapter, Dire Trip, Lazy Masquerade, all very good ones. There's another channel I'm a really big fan of. It's less true crime and more like lost media. Blame It on George is another really good one. So there's 5 really good YouTube channel recommendations for you right there. Dark Records and Fascinating. I actually do follow Fascinating Horror, Snake. I actually do follow Fascinating Horror. They're another really good one. Oh God, chat. Okay. Chat. Because how to basic put this into my brain. You know who's been uploading a lot lately, right? You know who's been uploading a lot lately, right? Who's ready for more chaos? Who's ready for even more chaos? Chat. And boom. Where's this one? This one. Okay. Oh. Oink. Oink. Jesus!
Penis? No.
There it is. Kraken.
Clicking. Snake. Squishing. Squirting. Blah.
Squealash. Oh, that looks good. Goddamn. Yeah.
Squeala. Huh? A boom.
For anyone who's curious who this is no fancy shit. This dude is so fucking funny. Oh, I love him. I love his uploads. They're great. Oh fuck.
Hey, I'm on. I fucking fuck.
Oh fuck. Hot.
Jordan. Hot. Slicing.
Slicing.
Ça fait 50 à plus, t'as quelque chose, ça n'a pas ça.
Rar.
Touffe avec ma bouffe. Bouffe. Ah, c'est fait. Hein, il va. Hot.
Hot.
C'est pas... Et boum.
Et boom. 100% Quebec. Exactly, Sonny. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god. I love this dude. He's so fucking funny, y'all. Like, holy shit.
Poof, poof. Voilà. Flippage.
Flippage.
Le fan est à hand. Slicing.
Slicing.
Larry Bird.
Larry Bird.
Moose. Goose. Hot. English. C'est fine about squirting.
Squirtin.
Doif. Doute.
Doute.
Bébard. Shit, fucking. Fucking.
Hot. That's a hell of a sandwich, Jesus.
Et boom.
And boom. Oh god. Oh my god. There's some really funny ones, chat. Holy shit.
C'est fire off. Oink!
Oink!
Kraken. Hey, patron, what did the fucking what am I on? I'm on, hey, oh shit, patron! Nice! Wundisch! Oink, oink, what?
What?
Oink! Yeah, oh fucking oh shit! Moriale! Oh shit!
Oh shit!
Oh.
Splatos.
Boing.
Squealage.
No.
The Quebecois urge to put an entire chicken breast on a bun. Yeah! Yeah, you're right, though. Yeah, you're right, though. Oh, good lord. Okay. Entirely right.
From the ground. Give me that. Oh. Yeah. Of what? Enough. Astronomie. The Kingdom File. Fundai. Yeah.
Yeah!
Slice.
Slice it!
Baguette.
Baguette.
Huh? Ah! Oh shit! Old fart. Slicing.
Dish. A boom.
From the ground.
Oh my god. Although I generally pound this shit out by before I do. Like my whip. Hey yo, Sonny? Hold on, hey yo? You don't say. Huh? Huh? Oh my goodness. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. This one's short but funny.
Musket pa.
Wundish. I love how somebody stops to watch him. Rara!
Yeah! Point. Hey! Rara! Whoa.
Whoa.
That's my dad. It's failing. Wilson! Hello, Clarice.
Amazing.
Dragon Tour. Nah, Robo-Rar.
Ah, Robo-Rar.
Beta Fa. Survive. Musket pa.
Oh my god, this dude's so funny, chat. I'm sure when he does it, it's a TikTok video, but when I do it, I ban from the Walmart. You know? The funny thing is, I do make those gremlin noises when I'm alone using the meat grinder at work. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. Awesome. Awesome, 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 Sonny. Good to know. Good to know. Oh, excuse me. Yeah. Hold on. I need more water. 1 second. Oh. I think we all have the gremlin noises in us. Hey, Doc, how's it going? Dude is like a living Skeletor meme, right? I too like to go to my local supercenter, make an ass of myself, buy nothing, and then leave. People going goblin mode will never not be funny, right, Akito? Right? I agree. 100% I agree. Okay. Chat, I'm gonna take a very quick break. I need some water, right? I need some water, and then we're gonna go right back into some chill vibes, okay? See y'all in like, let's say like 5 minutes, all right? I'll see y'all in 5 minutes. BRB. Okay, chat. Hello. We're back. How y'all doing? Hope y'all are doing well. Hope y'all are doing well. Hope you've been enjoying stream so far. Because I have. See, the cool thing about not doing... excuse me. The cool thing about not doing, like, silly video watch-alongs for a while is that we have a lot to catch up on. It's more fun that way. I'm making my son watch long, man. Good, Akito, good. Hell yeah, everybody should watch that. That's a fucking hilarious series of commercials. Oh my god. My son has this look on his face. Nice. Amazing. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Absolutely ridiculous set of commercials, honestly. Holy moly. Alright, I got water, I used the restroom, I stretched, and I'm hydrated. I hope y'all do that as well, right? I hope y'all do that as well. Okay, chat. Chat. Quick question. You know who else has been busy? You know who else has been busy uploading fun stuff that we haven't reacted to in a little while? Chat. Max. Max has been quite busy. Max has been very, very busy. Let's catch up with him, shall we? Let's catch up with him, shall we?
When I think of mead, I think of that sweet golden colored drink that is often associated with the Vikings. But that is by far not the only type of mead out there. Like in medieval France, people would risk third-degree burns to create a dark, almost black mead known as boucher. So thank you to Factor for sponsoring this video as I make the black mead of 14th century France.
Damn!
This time on Tasting History.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting. I wonder how this is gonna go.
So I've made mead here on the channel before, way back in 2020.
I remember this video, yes.
Began. But it was a 13th century mead that was rather simple. Delicious, but simple.
Right.
But mead is often not simple. It can become very complex with different flavors added from herbs and spices and different flours.
Okay.
And then there is a mead called boucher.
Boucher.
And it gets its flavor and color from caramelizing or even burning honey. The recipe comes from Le Ménagier de Paris, which was a guidebook written by an older gentleman in Paris in 1393.
1300s? Holy moly.
His young wife how to run a household. And there's one section of the book that is filled with different remedies for when somebody gets sick. And that's actually where this recipe is found, in beverages for the sick. So the recipe begins to make 6 sextiers of boucher, take 6 pints of very sweet honey and put it in a cauldron on the fire and boil it. And stir for so long that it starts to grow, and you see that it also boils and bubbles like small blisters which will burst, releasing a little bit of dark smoke. Then add 7
Why would I have to
sextiers
use
of water
that
and
phrasing
boil
for that,
so
though?
much that it reduces to 6 sextiers and keep stirring. And then put it in a vat to cool until it is lukewarm. Then strain it through a cloth and put it in a barrel and add a pint of yeast from ale, because
that's a lot.
is what makes it
That's a lot.
Though if you use bread yeast, it makes as good a flavor, but the color will be duller. And cover well and warmly so it ferments. So that is his basic recipe for what he calls boucher. So there are numerous spellings of that word that you can find in other medieval manuscripts.
That's a lot of different spellings,
Though unfortunately, since he wrote this in 1393, he does use an archaic form of measurement known as a sextier, sometimes a septier, even though sex and sept mean two different things.
I was about to say, two entirely different things. Yeah.
And that word also has lots and lots of other spellings throughout the centuries. And
linguistics.
Spellings,
why are you so crazy?
Different quantities.
Why are you so crazy?
The amount that a sextier is varies wildly from century to century, and even from location to location.
Even location to location? What?
The pint is a little more consistent throughout history. So we are able to kind of guess exactly what he's talking about, especially because we do know a bit more about what this quantity would have been in Paris at the time. It's not perfect, but the ratios should end up being about right. And since I'm cutting this way down anyway, the ratio is all that matters, because this recipe makes a vat.
A vat of boucher. Yeah.
I don't have a vat, so I'm making a much smaller amount. So for
Max, you should get a vat.
I am using 1 pint of honey,
Okay.
1 gallon plus 2 cups of distilled water,
Whoa.
and 5 grams of dried ale yeast.
Ooh.
You can also add a
Okay.
few grams of yeast nutrient if you want. It's not absolutely necessary, but it does kind of help speed up the process.
It sure does.
Ideally, what you're actually using is ale barm, but unless you've been brewing some medieval ale,
You're not gonna have any of that.
Unfortunately,
Nah.
I have not been brewing any medieval ale, though I do want to do that.
Oh,
once
hell yeah,
I
let's
have a
go.
kitchen again. This
Yeah,
is
once
actually
I have
the
a kitchen.
last recipe that I made in my kitchen before they tore everything out. It's kind of being redone. So I haven't been cooking.
New
as
kitchen for
of
Max.
late,
Let's go.
And I've really been relying on meals from today's sponsor, Factor. I often make HelloFresh meals. Use a pot that is so much.
Hang on.
Actually, we're going to begin with the pot that you're going to heat the honey in. Use a pot that is so much bigger than you
I
think
heard myself
that you
loudly
need.
say once
Also,
because
I
I hit the
recommend
twist.
wearing
Nice.
gloves and long sleeves at the
Yeah,
very
you're
least
gonna
while you're
want some
making this,
protection for this, chat.
because the burning honey does sputter a lot, and when you get it on your
Ranged
skin,
attacks.
you're
Very
gonna have a hard
powerful
time.
ranged
And
attacks
before
in
you
this
add
one.
the honey to the pot, you're going to add a gallon of water to the pot and use either a ruler or at least a spoon to measure how high that water comes. And use
YouTube?
either a ruler or at least a spoon to measure how high that water comes up. Because
There we go.
that's
Yep.
the amount of liquid that we want at the very end of the process
Yes.
after everything reduces. So you can tell how much you need in there after everything reduces. So add the honey to a very large pot and then set it over medium heat and let it slowly warm up. After just a minute or two, it'll go from thick and viscous to a more
liquidy
liquidy
consistency. Yep.
And after a couple more minutes, you'll start to see bubbles around
bubbles.
the edge of the pot. And once that happens, you want to
Yeah, because
start
burning
slowly
sugar,
stirring.
absolutely. It's
And you're gonna
culinary.
keep
They
stirring.
call it culinary napalm for a reason, chat. It burns like hell, and it not just burns; it sticks to your skin, right? It's really really bad. You have to be incredibly careful when making caramel or like cooking sugar at all. Any sugar, be it regular sugar, brown sugar, honey. It's very dangerous. You have to be very, very exceedingly careful with this shit. All right? I'm telling you from experience, please be very, very careful.
Pretty much the whole time for the next 15 minutes or so. So save your strength. Another minute in and the honey will start to create a foam across the top.
I worked in a bakery
And once
for
the
a
foam
year, made
covers the
caramel
top,
sauce with heavy
here's when
cream nearly
things
every
can
day, and I
quickly
still
get
have
out of
scars.
hand.
Oh
So
God, bird, yeah.
Keep an eye on the temperature
Yikes,
and make sure
yeah.
that the honey
Yeah.
doesn't foam
Oh,
up
good Lord.
too much. But the honey will foam up some, and you want to keep it bubbling. So to keep the foam down, just keep stirring and making sure to scrape the sides so nothing
burns. Yep.
At about 6 minutes in, you should start to see the honey begin to darken, and large bubbles will start coming to the surface.
Yep,
Now, in
here's-
many modern forms of
yeah.
bochet, this is actually where you stop. It's just starting to caramelize, and now you'll have a lovely, light, caramelly flavored bochet. But the 14th century recipe is pretty specific.
We
in
need
how
to take
far
it a
wants
bit
us to
further
take
than this.
So we're gonna
We need to
keep
take it a
going
bit
ahead.
further than
Let
this.
it keep boiling, and eventually the
Like
honey will
super,
start to
super
steam
dark.
and even let off a little smoke.
Yeah,
But if
see,
you
like,
keep
look-
stirring,
look.
it will not be burned, just toasty. As you approach 10 to 12 minutes, the
Here's
foam on
where it
top
gets
becomes
dangerous.
thick and long.
Here's where it gets dangerous, chat. Here's where it starts sputtering a bit. This is where it's gonna start throwing molten hot sugar all over the place. Here's where you need to be turbo careful.
Large bubbles will swell and burst, letting off dark steam. This is what you're looking for. This is what the recipe calls for. It says that they're like blisters bursting, which is gross to use
gross,
in a
yes,
recipe.
but
That's
accurate.
what they call it.
But accurate.
And this is also where the recipe gets really quite dangerous. So again, long sleeves, gloves, be careful, and do not look over the pot. Please, you will lose an eye. Because you are about to add the water, and the boiling honey will sputter and shoot up, and hot steam will fill the whole area. When I did this, there ended up being honey kind of just all over the wall and everything near it. It was a little crazy. And luckily, they came in the next day to redo the kitchen, so I didn't even have to clean it. So continue to slowly add the water.
That's
and the
dangerous right there,
sputtering will
chat. Good
eventually
God.
subside, and the honey will actually harden. And that's okay.
That's super
So leave it
dangerous.
on the heat for a few minutes, and as it heats back up, the honey will dissolve again. You want to bring the bochet up to a gentle boil.
Yeah,
and
dumping
then
water
start to
directly
let it
into boiling
reduce
sugar
until
is,
it hits that gallon mark. That's why it's important to measure the gallon before you start this process. For me, it took about 40 or 45 minutes for it to reduce that much, but just keep an eye on it. Once it's reduced, take it off the heat and set it aside.
Haven't told you my horror story from my last job. Oh no, Comey.
Just like slightly warm, but no more than 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Then pour it into a vessel for fermenting, and you want to strain it through a sieve, or you can get a funnel like mine that has a sieve built into it. And as it continues to cool, you can mix your yeast with just a few tablespoons of water to waken it up, and then add that to the bochet. And again, make sure it is no hotter than 120 degrees Fahrenheit.
Because you don't want to kill the yeast immediately. No.
And then all of your work was for naught. Now, technically, this is the end of kind of what you need to do.
Imagine the remodelers coming in and seeing dark, hardened spots all over the kitchen and just being like, what the hell is all of this? Oh, it's just my 14th century mead. Don't worry about it. Not a pretty stereo. I'll tell you after stream. Go right ahead, Comey. Go right ahead. Don't. Thank you, Tapper. Don't kill the yeasty boys. They're working very hard.
But there is a second optional part in the 14th century recipe that I am going to do. And that says, if you want to make it very good, add an ounce of ginger, long pepper, grains of
here's where you
paradise,
add the
and
spices.
Yes.
Yes.
Amounts, except for the cloves.
Worst burn I've had is an oven door swinging closed on my arm.
And when it has been 2 or 3 days and the bouquet smells
that sucks.
strong enough,
yikes,
take out the bag
yikes.
and wring it out and put it in the next barrel that you make. And so this powder will serve you well up to 3 or 4 times. And this is not uncommon to add spices. Most old mead recipes, whether it's bochet or any other kind of mead,
they actually do add spices to the mead. Yes,
so for this, you want 5 grams of ginger, 5 grams of long pepper, 5 grams grains of paradise, and 2 grams of cloves.
Okay.
And you really want dried whole spices for this, nothing that is pre-ground. You want to give them just a slight grinding.
No worries, King Frankie. Have a wonderful day at work. Have a good rest of your day.
If you don't have long pepper or grains of paradise, I suggest you get some. I'll put links in the description.
Grains of paradise are really nice.
They're wonderful.
Very,
they were
very
very
nice.
popular in medieval Europe, and they're both types of pepper, but they're so much more complex than the
very
black
much more
pepper
complex than that, yeah.
Today, long pepper came from India typically, and grains of paradise from Africa. You can still get them online or at some specialty.
My stomach just growled right now, chat. I don't know if you could hear that, but yo. Apparently, I'm hungrier than I thought. Holy shit.
Shops, and they're just fun. So I'm going to crush these up just slightly, but not into a fine powder, just enough to break them open, and then mix them all together and set them in a piece of finely woven cloth like muslin, and tie it into a sachet with a good length of string left for it to dangle. Now I'm adding one more ingredient, which isn't technically mentioned.
You don't have
this
grist bread. You could buy it. That's how stores work. Thank you,
Gilbert. That is wood chips.
What?
Now they wouldn't have had wood chips. They would have.
Max, you want to run that by me again? I'm sorry. What? Hold on, fam. What? You want to run that by me again? Hold on.
Had wooden barrels. This was typically fermented in a wooden barrel. But I'm using a glass jar to ferment, so I'm not going to get any of
You know, okay, that actually does make sense. Hold on. No. That actually does make sense. That actually does make sense. Because if they would ferment this in a wooden barrel, it's actually extracting some flavor profiles from the inside walls of the wooden barrel. Okay, no. All right, never mind. This makes sense. Okay, continue. This makes sense, chat. This makes sense.
That flavor from the wood. But many places today that specialize in brewing or making wine do have wood chips that you can add to add that flavor. So I'm using some wood chips. So add those and the sachet of spices to the mead, and then put on a lid with a bubble airlock on top.
Yep.
Again, they would not have had this in medieval Europe. They would have instead either just left it open or put some straw or cloth over it to keep the buggies out. But it's not really the best way to do fermenting, not the safest way to do fermenting.
No.
So I do recommend the airlock, and then you just put a little water in there and it keeps everything out nice and safe, but it lets out the gases
for fermentation. Yeah.
Completely close this off, or it will.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Sharon.
So you need the bubbler. Then you're going to set this in a dark place in the house and let it sit for 2 to 3 days. Then take out the sachet of spices.
Yep.
And
let that go for another
month or so.
Yep.
You'll know that it starts fermenting when the bubbles start coming up to the top and you can actually hear them. And you'll know that it's done fermenting when you can't hear the bubbles anymore. So mine took about a month.
I've seen the videos about the guy that turned Mountain Dew into wine. I've seen that doc, yes.
For me to tell you a little bit more.
Cooking stream when? I'm working on it, Soul. Believe it or not, I am working on it. I just need a good setup.
I was actually hesitant to do another video on mead because I kind of thought, well, I've covered it. I've trod
Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well.
But 4 years after making that video, which really focused on mead in the
Scandinavian
and mythical world, I realized there is a lot more to talk about.
There's way more to talk about.
Let us start,
especially with Bochet.
Poland.
Yeah.
Poland has a long history of beekeeping. So it's only natural
that
they also have a long history of mead making. All the way back in 996, a diplomat and traveler from Cordoba, Ibrahim ibn Yaqub, visited the court of Poland's first historic ruler, Mieszko I, and he said that besides food, meat, and land for plowing, the country of Mieszko I abounds in mead. Which is what the Slavic
now I want mead, chat. Oh my god, now I want
mead. For centuries, mead was a centerpiece of Polish exports. The Poles
trying to consistently
and the
stream just finished actually. It's been a
while.
I noticed you've been sharing your streams on the Discord, so I appreciate that. Yeah.
Roxalania, the Polish poet Sebastian Klonowicz praises the wines of Italy, but says that they can't hold a candle to the sweet and
not the bees like that. Like that who clip was once my cell phone ringtone. Made it awkward. I got a notification on my phone was in front of the training class. I wasn't. Oh no, Akido.
Vineyard, Jupiter of honey. For if wine is born of the earth, then mead is born of heaven. None can deny it to be a dew celestial.
Yeah.
There were several types of mead that were made in the region, and the most expensive, the most prized, was a mead made without adding any water at all. The only thing was honey, and then sometimes they would add the juice of cherries or different berries. And then they would seal it up, bury it, and let it ferment naturally for anywhere from 10 to 50 years.
What?
This type of
That's
mead was
crazy.
so practiced that by the 15th century, Duke Janusz III of Mazovia restricted its consumption to the upper classes.
That's wild.
So because this mead was so expensive, it was usually
somehow
only
still
the
work
upper
here
classes
despite that.
who could even afford it. So restricting it to them kind of seems unnecessary. They're the only ones who could buy it. And mead in Eastern Europe at this time,
I bet that's some good. Yeah, taking 50 years to ferment. Can you imagine?
Specifically,
good God.
My favorite mead-loving royal was the 10th century Princess Olga of Kiev, later to become Saint Olga. Though her mead drinking takes place during one of her less saintly moments. Her husband, Prince Igor, had just been murdered by the Drevlians.
Oh no.
And she was upset. Olga was mad, and that makes sense. So
bro, the grandkids gonna love this shit, right, Akido? Yeah.
Saying that they must prepare great quantities of mead in the city where you killed my husband, that I may weep over his grave and hold a funeral feast for him.
You know what? Fair.
Sweet,
yeah, fair.
Let me tell you, do not mess with Olga, because she shared this mead with the Drevlians, and when they got sufficiently drunk, she had them all massacred.
Damn!
And this was only following her burning a bunch of them alive in a bathhouse.
What the fuck?
While she stood outside taunting them.
Holy shit! Imagine getting your enemies so drunk they can't even defend themselves, and then you just go to town. Wow. Wow. Holy shit. That is 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. I have to applaud that planning. That's amazing. Get you a woman like that. Damn. Yeah, they're drunk enough. They should burn nice and good now. Holy fuck. 10 out of 10 planning. My God. My God.
Don't make saints like that anymore. She wanted this mead so that she could drink it as she mourned the loss of her husband, Prince Igor. And that does seem fairly common in this period in Eastern Europe. In fact, in the 9th century,
stop cooking yourself.
visited the land that is now Serbia, and he wrote that they too drank mead on the occasion of someone's death. And when a year has passed since the death, they take 20 jugs of mead, or more or less, and go with it to that hill. The family of the deceased gathers They eat and
Saint
drink
air
there,
quotes.
and then they go their separate ways. But mead wasn't only drunk during times of sorrow, but also times of celebration for festivals and weddings and
you know,
all
when you
sorts of
murder your
happy
enemies.
events. And when you
Yeah.
move further west, it was the same case, but sometimes they used it as a form of payment, like in Wales. In the Welsh law code, known as the Laws of Hywelda, codified in the 10th century, it specifies that some people are to be paid in silver, while for others, a mess of food and a hornful of mead he receives from the court for his provision.
Imagine
There are
getting
also
paid with
guidelines
food
for
and
how
mead,
much of
chat.
several different drinks a steward is to
Imagine getting
receive
paid
after giving food
instead of
and
like
drink
silver
to the
or
king.
like
A
money. No,
steward
no, you
has
get
the
paid
length of
with
his
mead
middle
and
finger
food.
of the
Holy
clear
shit.
ale from off the lees, and the length of the middle joint of the braggot, and the length of the extreme
Red wedding, but
joint
it's an
of
all you
the
can eat
mead.
barbecue.
Braggot or
Damn.
braggot was basically
Damn.
a combination of mead and ale, and while delicious, I'm sure, was not worth the same as just the mead. 2 vats of braggot or 4 of ale are
Interesting.
paid
Okay.
for 1 of mead. The worth of a vat of mead which is paid to the king is 60 pence. 9 handbreadths is the measure of the vat of mead when measured diagonally, that is, from the furthest bottom groove to the hither rim. Kings around
Interesting.
this period were enamored with mead because
Damn it, that's
while
better than
in
my red
Wales
wedding
they were using it
joke.
as a form of payment, in England, if the king was to come over, you had to make sure to have an ample supply of mead on hand.
That's true,
In the
yeah.
Life of St. Dunstan by a cleric simply known as B, he tells the story of King Ethelstan of England, who was coming to stay with a relative, Ethelfleda, at the monastery at Glastonbury.
Glastonbury,
He
yeah.
sends messengers ahead to make sure that she is well supplied for when the king arrives, because it's not just the king. You have to remember, when the king came to visit, it was an honor, but it was
He's got his
an
whole ass
onerous
entourage
one,
with him.
because he usually
Yep.
traveled with hundreds or even thousands of
Yep,
people.
man's got a whole
And
ass
it was up to
entourage,
you
okay.
to entertain and feed and supply them all. So it turns out that she had plenty of everything except for meat.
Except the
and the
meat.
messengers
Oh,
were
no.
like, "Well, this is not gonna this is not gonna fly." So she starts freaking out and she goes to pray to Mother Mary for intercession, for some help. And it turns out, once the king gets there at the feast, they start pouring the mead, and as the mead drains, the pitchers refill themselves, so there was never any less than a hand's breadth of mead in the pitchers. Now, this royal love of mead does apply to this era, but also much later. It continues on through the medieval
That's
age,
crazy.
even into the Tudor
Literally
age,
never-ending
because
supply
Queen
of
Elizabeth
mead. Let's go.
I had a favorite mead. Her beekeeper,
Really?
Charles Butler, wrote a treatise in 1609,
You don't say.
several
I mean,
years
that
after her
checks,
death,
honestly.
called The
Yeah, that
Feminine
checks.
Monarchy, or the Treatise Concerning Bees and the Due Ordering of Bees. And he says, "One excellent receipt I will here recite, and it is of that which our renowned Queen Elizabeth, of happy memory, did so well like, that she would every year have a vessel of it." The recipe was 1 part honey to 6 parts water and was flavored with sweet briar leaves, thyme, rosemary, and bay leaves before being fermented. Then cloves and mace were added, and it was aged for 6 months. Sadly, it was
interesting.
not long after this period that the popularity of mead began to wane.
Oh, well, that's
By the 18th
unfortunate.
century in Poland and Russia, vodka, which
Vodka,
was
yeah,
much
that
cheaper
checks.
and much easier to make,
Way
and much
easier to make,
stronger,
yep.
had really usurped mead's place. And in England, there were several reasons that it kind of went out of fashion. One was the dissolution of the monasteries by Queen Elizabeth's father, Henry VIII.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Because most of the beekeeping and hence mead making in England was done by monks.
By monks,
so
yes.
with no monks, you had less honey, and you had
less mead.
Another
That's
factor was the
unfortunate.
addition of adding hops to ale. This allowed the drink to have a longer shelf life while
Yes.
still being rather cheap, which made it more attractive to the average drinker. Now, mead didn't disappear
That checks.
entirely.
That
it just became
checks,
more
yeah.
of a niche drink. It was very popular amongst like countryside peasants who were making it for themselves because it was
good
it was
idea, Tapper,
available.
yeah.
And to them, it was cheaper than wine, which had really become the more prestigious drink to have. Though some people also drank
Yeah,
it
that's why I like
for
honey,
its
1/4 Polish.
medicinal
That's cool,
properties.
Fetch.
It was often thought to be curative, especially when infused with different herbs and spices.
Just like
as
Bochet.
the
Ah,
Bochet
there
is.
it is,
In
yeah.
fact, there is a 16th century French treatise that talks about
leave it to the French.
curative properties of Bochet, provided it is made properly.
Yep.
When the bochet is
Leave it to the French.
and the honey is not well cooked, it bites the belly hard and generates the diarrhea and makes great suffering.
Whoa, what? Hold on, what?
And scented, it is delectable to the taste, and it smoothens the voice and clears the throat and the pipes of the lungs and comforts the heart and gives it jubilation. They started adding all sorts of different herbs and spices.
All right, y'all need to work on your
bochet,
phrasing. Jesus.
And they also sometimes would include less desirable ingredients, like shavings of ivory and hartshorn. 3 drams. And that's why I didn't make the 17th century recipe, but
that's wild.
The medieval French recipe from
that's
the 14th
wild.
century, which should be ready to drink.
That's
so
wild.
After the mead has fully fermented,
make this wrong and ye be shitting. Exactly, Guilford, yeah.
Go ahead and rack it. And basically, that is just pouring it into another sterile container and keeping out the dead yeast.
Yep.
Then you can either let it age for a while, or you can drink it as is, which is what I'm going to do right now.
There you go.
And here we are. Bochet.
Ooh, that color though. Dang.
It smells caramely.
That color is really nice.
Burn, but not unpleasant. I'm not getting a lot of the spices from the scent, so I'm curious
Interesting.
what it's like.
I wonder if you left the spices in longer than just 2 or 3 days. Would that make a difference? Oh, wow.
It's really good. So it's not sweet at all.
Interesting.
It's like mead can be really sweet.
Yeah, it can be.
This isn't sweet at all.
Really?
The spices are just enough.
Okay.
It's also not as viscous.
I'm very enamored with that color. That
as
color
many
looks really
meads.
nice.
And that's because it has a lot more water than most meads that you have today. Some meads today can have like
super
1
thick.
part mead to 4 parts water, sometimes 3 parts water. This is 6 parts water, 1 part mead. So definitely not as thick, probably not as alcoholic, but that's not the point. It's supposed to be curative, and I don't know about that, but tastes good. So I am going to let this sit and age, and maybe in a few months I'll give another crack at it, give another taste, and see how it develops. It's actually a lot more complex than most meads that I've had. And it's really good. I was worried that it was going to kind of be bitter.
I was really
because
tempted to
the
try.
honey
I'm
had
really
almost
tempted to try this.
There was that burnt
make
honey
this
to it,
myself.
but it's mellow. It's
I know Golden
softened,
Hive Mead has
it's delicious,
done Peeps and Mountain Dew Mead.
Yeah, it's
mostly
great.
as viral
So
content as a
next
brewery
week,
that made
fingers
Peeps
crossed,
Bochet for real.
I'll be back
Oh
in
my
the kitchen.
god, what bird? That's
unique.
crazy. Also, I do know that channel, yes, the Golden Hive Mead. They I showed this to Christy and she was very concerned because one of Golden Hive's projects, one of his most requested projects is to do Mountain Dew Baja Blast Mead. And like, I showed that to Christy and she was exceedingly concerned. She was very, very concerned. Oh my lord. Me personally, I'm very excited to see what comes of that. I'd try it. Yeah, exactly, Guilford. I'd try it. I tried to say I could. I tried to say that I did. All right. What? Ooh. Hold on. Wait, chat. This, I really want to do this recipe at some point, chat. Holy shit, y'all.
Whenever you see an Old West saloon in a TV show or a movie, they're always drinking. They're never eating. But people did eat at Old West saloons.
They sure did.
Not only did they eat, but often the lunch was free. And that free
lunch was
could be
free?
anything from a sandwich to oysters to a big bowl of the classic cowboy dish, pork and beans.
Pork and beans.
So thank you to Squarespace for
There we
sponsoring this
go.
video as we see what it was like to eat in an Old West saloon.
Let's
This
go.
time on Tasting History.
Let's go. Hell yeah.
Today I am in the old mining town, the old ghost town of Cerro Gordo,
Cerro
which is
Gordo.
in California, right off of Death Valley. Back in the late 19th
Two
and
of the
early
4
20th
basic
century,
food
it was
groups,
home
yeah,
to
right.
miners working in the nearby silver, lead, and zinc mines. So of course, it included
Oh,
several
that's
saloons.
really
Saloons
neat,
that would
Tapper.
feed and water the
Wow.
miners when they
God, I
came
love how
down from
creative
trying
my
to find their
community is.
fortune.
Holy cow.
Now, whether you were in
I
a big
love
city
how
like
creative
San
y'all are,
Francisco
like, honestly.
or a small mining town like Cerro Gordo,
30-minute
when you
video I
walked
was
into
thinking
a
of, but
saloon,
that's a
you could
bit long.
expect a drink.
Understandable,
You could
Bird,
almost
yeah.
always
I will
expect
check
some
that
food.
out. I will
Now,
check that
what
out on my own
food
time,
was
though. That sounds
really
very
ran the
interesting.
gamut. They had like fancy French cuisine
What?
with French chefs in a lot of these places, even in small towns.
That's crazy.
But then some saloons had, you know, pickled eggs and pretzels, just like you would find in many bars today.
Okay, that
but
checks.
George Ade, when he was writing in, I believe, the 1930s, he was writing about the saloons that he remembered when he was young. And he said, right in the center of the soiled table cover, you might have found a bowl of baked beans, and alongside of it, a glass of troubled water. And in the glass
Troubled
were immersed
water.
several forks, which the evidence indicated had been used in hoisting beans. So the baked beans I'm making, the troubled water with utensils in it, which is basically dirty water that people have been using their utensils over and over. I'm not doing that because that's gross.
That's
I found
gross.
lots
That's
and lots of
disgusting.
recipes for baked beans, but since saloons were making these foods for profit, I figured I would use the recipe from Cooking for Profit, which was produced with the restaurants and
Appropriately
saloons of the
named.
Old West in mind.
Appropriately
It was originally
named.
published in the
Okay,
San Francisco
okay.
Hotel Gazette
Yeah.
in 1886 and says baked pork and beans. Wash and pick over a large heaping cupful of navy beans and steep them in water overnight. Put them on next morning with fresh water to more than cover and baking soda the size of a bean and let boil about an hour. Then carry them to the sink, pour all in a colander, letting the water run away, and put back into the saucepan with cold water enough to come up to a level. Boil again, and in a few minutes they will be soft. Season with a little salt and a tablespoon of molasses.
And molasses?
Put them into 4-pint bowls or tin pans. Lay an ounce of salt pork on each.
Ooh, salt pork. Okay.
Very simple. I actually found some even simpler recipes that are literally just pork and beans. Nothing else. No molasses or even salt.
Interesting.
Then I found some really complicated ones that have cayenne and
there you
onion
go,
and lots of
Akido.
other seasoning. So if you want to add more seasoning, by all means,
You're
do so.
imparting
For me,
good
I'm
knowledge.
following the recipe and starting with 1 1/4 cup of navy beans, 4 ounces of salt pork, scored and then cut into 4 slices, a pinch of baking soda, a teaspoon of salt, and 1 tablespoon of molasses. So first, take the beans and cover them with water and let them sit overnight. You can also rinse your pork at this time.
I'm sorry, the soaking the beans overnight brings back the memory of the B. Dylan Hollis video. Good night, good morning. Same energy. So these took a long bath last night. Good night, good morning. Amazing.
You're using salt pork, which can be hard to find, so you can also use bacon, which you don't need to rinse, but if you're using salt pork, you want to rinse it a couple times. Put it in water, let it sit for about an hour, then dump it out, add more water, let it sit because it is really salty. Now once the beans are soaked, there shouldn't be any water left. They should have soaked up pretty much all of the water. If there is any water, dump it out. Otherwise, put them into a pot and sprinkle with the baking soda and add fresh water, just enough to cover them, plus about a 1/2 inch. Now here we have a decision to make because every other recipe that I found for pork and beans has you add the pork at this point. But this recipe doesn't have you add the pork until it's baking.
Interesting.
The problem with that is the pork will not be cooked.
Nope.
And it needs to be cooked. So I'm guessing the recipe author just skipped that step or missed that step or has the pork cooked elsewhere, like on a skillet. I don't know.
Oh God,
but
Doc,
I'm
yeah,
going to go
no,
ahead
you
and add
gotta
mine now because
prep the salt pork because good God.
Much needed flavor. So add it to the beans and let the pot come to a boil and then set the lid on and let the beans cook for 1 hour. Every once in a while, lift the lid and try to skim off any of the scum, but pretty much leave it for an hour. At that point, strain the water out of the beans, then add some cold water just enough to be level with the beans and bring it to a boil until they're nice and soft. This should take about 10 minutes. Then remove the pork and add the salt and molasses and stir them into the beans to coat them. Now this recipe has you putting it into 4 different dishes because it's meant to be served to, different people like at a restaurant. But at a saloon, it would have often just been on the free lunch table, one big old pot. So I'm just putting them into one big tin dish. So once the beans are in the dish, set the pork on top and place the whole thing in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, 175 Celsius for a half hour. Now saloons
350
in the
for
Old
a
West,
half hour?
especially in a small town like Cerro Gordo, were so much more than just a watering hole. As the first building that often went up, a saloon
I really
want to
try this recipe, chat. Oh man,
barber shop,
I'm also getting really hungry watching these.
Or even a church should a pastor come through. But on the daily, it was for food and drink. So other than baked beans,
yeah, saloons are basically like your
expect to get
catch-all kind of
walking
building.
into an Old West saloon.
They really were just sort of your catch-all sort of building
So the
back
exact
in the day.
definition of a saloon is kind of up for debate. One definition is any place that serves food and drink but makes most of their money through the drink.
Through the drink, yeah.
Historically, that definition doesn't always work, but for our purposes, it works.
I can make you
Now, as
hungrier. I
towns
have
grew up
lechon. You
around
have
the American
lechon,
West,
Doc?
the saloon was
You have
often the first
lechon?
building to go.
Man!
At first, it was usually nothing more than a tent with a few tables and chairs.
Oh,
a
hey,
place to wet your
R2.
whistle.
Oh, thank
And
you.
it was only after the town began to establish itself that they would build a more permanent structure with wooden floors, a polished bar.
I
and
was
of
just
course,
talking, like the
bat-wing
last time,
doors. And
the
yes,
last time I was talking to my parents, right? Like I was literally just mentioning them. It's been a while since we had lechon or like sisig or anything like that. Like, oh man. like, damn, it's been a long time. I want lechon now. Holy crap. Also, I hope you're doing well, R2. How's your day been?
those swinging saloon doors were real. It's not just a thing from the movies. At least
I was about to say,
after
those
the
swinging
1870s,
saloon doors
once the
had to
hinge
have been
that lets
real.
it
Yeah.
do that was invented. Many saloons had those bat wing doors. They're called bat wings because they look like bat wings.
Yeah,
but
look like bat wings.
behind those bat wing doors, they would have normal doors that could be closed
Normal
in case it's
doors.
cold or whatever. One of the reasons
Okay.
for those batwing doors was to let the smoke out. People were always smoking. And to
Yep.
let fresh, cool air in, kind of create a breeze if you opened up a window. But also,
Okay.
it was at the height that if children were passing by, they couldn't look in and see all the drinking and gambling going on. And there
That's
was always
hilarious.
drinking and gambling
Okay,
going on.
that's
Now, as
funny.
far as gambling goes, the most popular games were poker and faro. Faro isn't really played
okay.
much today, but in the 19th century, it was often played more than poker
is this?
because more people could play at once, the odds were better than most games of chance, and it had very simple rules, and it was easy to follow along.
Oh,
which is always a
yeah,
benefit
that
if you
checks.
have been drinking heavily, and many people were, at least in a decent
Drinking
saloon,
heavily,
drinking
yes.
heavily.
Lots of work
So
around the
what
house.
Exactly were they
Using
drinking?
the time to listen to
Well,
old
one
Tom
of the most
Clancy
popular
audiobooks.
drinks, at least when it
Nice.
came to
Okay, that's
spirits,
cool.
Was whiskey. And there were two types of whiskey,
Whiskey.
usually available.
Yep.
The good stuff.
The good stuff.
And the less than good
And the
stuff.
less than good stuff.
was usually the stuff that was
Okay.
bottled back east or else in other countries, like Old Forester bourbon or Dewar's Scotch, and
Right.
it usually came with a labeled bottle. The not so great
Okay.
stuff is usually produced and bottled out back, and usually it didn't have an actual name.
Oh,
People
no.
would give it wonderful names though, like coffin
Coffin varnish,
cactus juice,
cactus
sheep dip,
juice,
tarantula juice, fire
water, rot
any
gut.
number
Oh
of
my
colorful
God.
appellations. These were usually locally distilled neutral grain spirits.
that a pet
that
chat
were
redeem?
flavored
It
with
sure
coffee,
is.
chilies,
Alrighty.
or
Come here,
tobacco, and spiked with ingredients like
Nah.
strychnine,
There you go.
turpentine, or sulfuric acid to give it some kick. Basically, if it was the taste you were after, then you get the
Sorry,
good stuff.
rewind!
Usually locally distilled neutral grain spirits that were flavored with coffee, chilies, or tobacco, and spiked with ingredients like strychnine, turpentine, or sulfuric acid to
Hey, question, what the fuck? Question, what the fuck? Whoa! Whoa! Hold on now. Hold on now. That is insane. What the fuck? Kick like a moose. Seriously. Glass of coffin varnish will send you straight to the grave with a kick. Yeehaw. God damn. Who needs eyesight or a stomach lining? Absolutely insane. Hey, Kingfisher. No, this is Tasting History with Max Miller. Oh my
some
fucking
kick.
God.
Basically, if it was the taste
Wow.
you were after, then you get the good stuff and you paid for the privilege. But if it was just the effect that mattered, then take the rot gut and you'll get the same effect, if not better, at half the price.
Absolutely
now, if neither of those drinks tickled your fancy, then most saloons would offer beer and champagne.
Beer and champagne, wow.
Champagne was actually far more common in the Old West than you might think today. Even here in Cerro Gordo, lots of champagne bottles were found. And one reason was because you could water down whiskey or beer or pretty much whatever.
That checks,
but when you heard a champagne bottle pop, you knew it was champagne.
You knew it was champagne.
Now, one thing I
you
find
knew it was
really
the good
interesting
shit.
about the whiskey and the other hard liquors is today the bartender pours you the drink. You're at their mercy of how much you get. But back in the Old West, that wasn't always the case. It was customary to belly up, nominate your pizen, drink fast, and make room for the next comer. The barkeep didn't put the liquor into glasses. If you asked for scotch or what have you, he'd grab the bottle in his right hand, a glass in his left, cross hands, and plunk the two down before you. You took a small or a big drink as you wished. For 10 cents, the tariff didn't vary. Though I think it really depends on who the...
Can you imagine doing that today? Instead of the bartender pouring you a shot, you poured your own shot? Like, what the hell? That would, ooh, I could see that going bad real quickly. I can see that going bad real quickly. Holy shit. Now, Mom just sent me a text, the picture of a coffee travel mug. On one side, it's got a map of Middle Earth. And on the other side, it says, I've had one coffee, yes, but what about second coffee? Me. That's me, like every fucking day, Tapper. Holy shit, that's me. God.
man behind the bar was, because many
probably
bartenders,
didn't want to get a drink on the claim.
Had a reputation for
you know what? Fair, Akito. Yeah.
In reviewing a rich and variegated personal experience of saloons, the feature that stands out most prominently in my recollection is the hard, listless, unfeeling type of man who keeps saloons. The bon ami, the good fellowship supposed by some to prevail among saloon habitués, is totally lacking in saloon keepers. I never knew a saloon keeper who was a really good fellow.
I never knew a saloon keeper was a really good fellow.
Mark Twain, the cheapest and easiest way to become an influential man and be looked up to by the community at large was to stand behind a bar, wear a cluster diamond pin, and sell whiskey. Now, there were bartenders, who were loved by their community and true bon vivants. Those bartenders typically made cocktails. Now, not every saloon served cocktails, but cocktails were a lot more popular in the Old West.
That's news to me.
They
wow.
were usually made with whiskey, gin, or brandy, and had names like cobblers, smashes, juleps, flips, and crustas. They typically weren't as complicated as the cocktails of today, but they were a great way to temper the flavor of poor liquor. They could also be an excellent tonic because very often they included bitters which were seen as medicinal, and supposedly they were. Though you should take the temperature of the room when ordering a cocktail, because if you're in a place like Seattle or San Francisco back in the day, order a cocktail by all means. But if you're in a little town like Cerro Gordo and you order a hot gin fizz or a warm toddy, you might be considered to have an educated thirst, and that was not a compliment.
Oh, yeah.
Stick to the whiskey neat. Now,
small town like Cerro Gordo, like, oh, you're too what? You think you're too smart for us? Yeah, I get that. I can see that.
Bars and restaurants today, they ran the gamut. There were those saloons that were a single
I had that
room
same
with a
Tumblr on my throne wish list. It said I had one matcha. Yes, but what about second matcha? Oh, that's great, Comey. Wow, that's so good.
Velvet curtains, crystal chandeliers, silver-framed mirrors
Pepsi
behind the
Doggo.
bar, and can-can dancers entertaining the men
Hope
every
you're
night.
hope you're doing
For
well.
instance,
Hope you're
at
doing
the
well.
Occidental Saloon in Tombstone,
Now that we had a hope if we had lived with a good God, we would turn us to be pirates.
That's
a very good quote, Kingfisher.
Leg of lamb with oysters, an assortment of cold meats, boiled meats, roast meat, suckling pig or pork with applesauce. Fashionable dishes like creme fricassee of chicken and lapine domestique with desserts of custard.
The fancy-ass saloon, what the fuck?
French cuisine had become all the rage in America at the time, and that included the Old West.
I have a coffee mug with the Helldiver skull in it. Good shit. Good shit, Akito. Yeah.
That way. There was a French restaurant in the 1800s. Which is just
I had to wait
crazy.
3 fucking hours for the room to get inspected. Oh.
But for every one of these fancy saloons, there were probably half a dozen that were more middle of the road. They offered merchant lunches, which typically cost 10 or 15 cents and included a beer along with a little stew or baked beans or roast beef or mashed potatoes and gravy. Then there was the
You want me to
which
pet
was
shot
a
again for
staple
Pepsi
of
Doggo?
saloon
Oh,
culture
okay. Yeah.
throughout the country in the late 19th century.
There you
It
go.
wasn't exactly free. Essentially, what you did was you went into the saloon and you bought a drink. And
Oh,
for
yeah,
the
that-
price
see?
of that one drink, you got full access to a lunch table.
Huh, that's interesting. So you buy one drink, you get all the free food you can eat. Wow, that's a hell of a deal. God damn. All right. That's a hell of a good deal. Holy shit. I think, okay, I have two favorite mugs of mine that I own. One is a coffee mug that I got while I was still at culinary school. It's got the Culinary Institute of America logo on one side, and on the other side it says "Baker's Gonna Bake." Because I was part of the baking and pastry program. It was really fun. My other favorite mug is what I like to call my D&D mug, because it's a mug that's shaped like a D20. And like the lid of the mug completes the look of the D20, so it keeps your drink warm. It's really good. It's really, really good.
And usually the food that you got to eat was worth far more than the price of that drink.
Nice.
So it was incumbent on the bartender to make sure you kept drinking. So they could make their money back.
Exactly.
The cheapest places for men are supposed to be the so-called free lunches, though this is probably a mistake. For these free lunches are attached to bars, and it is expected that their guests shall patronize the bar sufficiently to pay all favors they get in the way of free food.
Oh, Ian, I love Micro Center.
Saloons were especially famous.
Ian, I love Micro Center because it's a Micro Center like 20 minutes from me. And when I was building my new computer many years ago, my current computer, when I was shopping for parts, I just went down to the Micro Center. They're so good. I love them. Oh, I love Micro Center.
For their free lunches. In 1891, Rudyard Kipling, who wrote The Jungle Book,
yeah,
came through San Francisco and went into a saloon in which men with hats on the back of their heads were wolfing food from a counter. It was the institution.
Colby, Micro Centers are so good.
You paid for a drink and got as much as you wanted to eat. For something less than ₹1 a day, a man can feed himself sumptuously in San Francisco, even though he be a bankrupt.
My closest Micro Center is 4 hours away. Oh no, Guilford! Oh no!
Now, just because it was free does not mean that it wasn't still quality food. One meal included a monster silver boiler filled with a most excellent oyster soup, a round of beef that must have weighed at least 40 pounds, vessels filled with potatoes, stewed mutton, stewed tomatoes, and macaroni à la française. All that for the cost of a 15-cent drink, which even with inflation would be like $4.25, basically for all you can eat.
Wow.
You get a drink. The thing
That's fucking crazy. Holy shit.
There was a lot of competition. The different saloons began upping the quality and the quantity of their food to
location
outdo
Indianapolis.
each
They
other.
offered a custom
And
mug for early arriving customers.
So
that's cool as shit, Ian. Yo, that's awesome.
To outweigh the cost of these free lunches. So all the saloons started losing money. As far back as November of 1854, the saloon owners of San Francisco got together to put a stop to these free lunches. But after 2 meetings, they realized that even if just a few saloons held out and kept offering them, then they would get all the patrons. So free lunches are still on tap for the freeloaders. And there were indeed some freeloaders. It was not uncommon for people to just walk into the saloon, walk up to the lunch table, and start eating.
That's what I thought.
This inexplicable lunch fiend not happen to be called to drink, he devours whatever he can.
That's what I thought people would start doing,
unnoticed. Of course, in smaller towns like Cerro Gordo, the free lunch usually wasn't
POV
so
me.
Partly because they didn't have as much competition with other saloons. Also, what you got usually depended on who ran the saloon, who was the cook in the back, or
Indianapolis
who was
Skyline,
IndyCar,
very Indiana pride. Nice.
That would serve chop suey and chow mein. Very popular in the Old West. Lots of German saloons that had different sausages.
I had no idea saloon
bratwurst
food was this varied. That's really fucking cool.
And then, of course, there were a lot of Mexican saloons because until 1848, California and most of the Southwest,
was part of Mexico.
So they would have pozole and tamales on the menu. And most all of the free lunches would have an assortment of things like cheeses and pickles and little cold meats and clams and oysters. Oysters were incredibly popular in America at the time as a whole.
Kingfisher, I'm aware.
Especially in the Old West among cowboys and miners. You don't usually watch an Old Western and see people eating oysters,
more saloon grub than beans, bacon, whiskey, and lard.
Oysters. They were coming in on trains and stuff from places like San Francisco.
Oh man, I had a really good dinner the other night. There's a
away from the trains. You would have
there's a Mexican place near me, and they have really good tacos, and I went there and I got tacos for dinner last night. Oh,
free lunch. These included sundry pretzels, crackers, bits of cheese and sausage, and a salt pickle or a radish. A repast intended to provoke thirst rather than to satisfy.
Oh yeah. So you bought more drinks
today because they do make you more thirsty. And
make you more thirsty, ergo you buy more drinks, ergo the bar gets more money. Yeah, that checks.
Really make
that checks.
The leap to today is the sardelle. A limp, silver-coated minnow, a relative of the sardine, saturated with brine and probably sold by the hogshead, became one of the staple standbys of every saloon catering to a reliable beer trade. They were saltier than the seven seas and were served whole. They were in great favor because the patron, after he had taken a couple of them draped across a slab of rye bread, had to rush to the bar and drink a lot of beer
called Pancho Villa's Taco Shop. It's absolutely amazing.
Yo! Fish. They were silent partners. So now we know what they drank and what they ate at an Old West saloon. My question is,
Miss Froggy, I was
what did they look like?
I was really close to banning you for a second because that was something a bot would do in chat. Good God, I was this close to dropping the ban hammer on you. Holy shit!
Manners, I'm thinking weren't so great, and luckily there was a rather prudish Englishman
sold by the hogshead. Americans will use anything but the metric system, right?
And wrote right. I saw a performance that filled me with astonishment and dismay. It was a man eating his dinner. And let me here remark, with all possible courtesy, that the American on his travels is the most reprehensible eater I have ever seen. He never apparently chews his food, but dabs and pecks at the dishes one after the other with the rapidity, which merely is a juggling trick might be performed in London to crowded houses every day. Every now and then he shuts his eyes and strains his throat. This, I suppose, is when he swallows, for I have seen children getting rid of cake with the same sort of spasm. What I love is that next he includes a list of what the man is eating. The mixture of his food, if it pleases him, does not annoy me. For if a man likes to eat mouthfuls of huckleberries, bacon, apple pie, pickled mackerel, peas, mutton, gherkins, oysters, radishes, tomatoes, custard, and poached eggs,
that's a lot.
This is a bona fide meal copied from my notebook on the spot. In discriminate confusion, it
How does this guy see me eat through there?
He says that this entire meal lasted all but 5 minutes.
What the fuck?
He grabbed a handful of toothpicks and leans idly against the doorpost.
Did he just
if time were without limit or end.
Is this man Kirby? Did he just inhale everything?
So
what the fuck?
Pioneers of the American West, I feel that I should drop all semblance of civility as I eat my
That's insane. What the hell, dude?
And here we are, baked pork and beans.
Oh my God, that looks delicious. Holy shit.
Bon appetit.
Oh, that looks so fucking tasty. Hello?
I love baked beans. Really good. They could be a little softer, I will say that, but they're not too firm. I just like a soft.
He then went on to fight King DDD.
But the flavor is outstanding. It's actually
this looks real
better
fucking
than
tasty.
What you get in a can.
Yo.
Even though there's nothing to it. There's no onion, there's no spice or anything. It's just that molasses and the salt pork. That salt pork, I think, really adds a lot of flavor. Now,
I was about to say you're gonna get a lot of flavor just with salt pork alone.
Eat the pork from pork and beans because it's usually just really fatty, as is this. But I'm gonna take a bite just to see.
Why the hell not?
It's really fatty. It's really good.
Salt pork is life. What up, Kay? How's
really
it going,
good.
bud?
I'm gonna be eating these tonight while I'm here. Mighty fine. So as always, I will get this recipe up on the Tasting History website.
Incredible. Incredible. I would definitely want to try this recipe. Holy moly. Taking a break from gaming with Swoos to grab some food. Yeah, I'm probably going to stop by later on. Once I get dinner. Because I know it's Swoos' birthday. I'm definitely gonna stop by later on for sure. Yeah. Alright, chat. What do we want to do now? You know what? Let's continue the let's continue the Old West theme. Let's continue the Old West theme. There's only one recipe you need in life. Motherfucking mofongo. Oh my god, Kay, you right though. Okay, you're right though. Holy shit, dude. Yeah. You are absolutely correct. Okay, holy shit, dude. I will fight a man for some mofongo. Oh my god, dude. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Today I'm filming from the old mining town of Cerro Gordo, near
Nice
Death
shot,
Valley in
Doc.
California.
Thanks.
Now back in the day, this was a rough place, your quintessential Old West town. A disagreeable burg full of stout, warm-hearted, go-ahead men who were tearing fortunes out of the bowels of the earth. So naturally, my question is, what did these bowel-tearing men like to eat? Well, one popular meal was biscuits and gravy, which I'm making using a recipe from 1881.
Ooh.
So thank you to Trade Coffee for sponsoring this video as we eat like an Old West miner. This time on
the How to Drink vid on Red Dead Redemption 2. I'll check that out, King, for sure, yeah. We'll probably wrap stream with that. Yeah.
Now, back in the late 19th
I used to go hiking up there when I was a kid.
This was a thriving community with a number of saloons, restaurants, dance halls, hotels, and other businesses, all catering to the needs of the miners who were extracting silver and lead in the surrounding mountains. Now, whether they were coming into town to eat or if they were staying out by the mounds and making themselves a good meal, they relied basically on the 3 B's. Beans, bacon, and biscuits.
Yep, there it is.
Last week I made the beans and bacon, so this week I'm making the biscuits. Now sometimes they would use sourdough to make biscuits.
My southern heart almost leapt out of its chest. Happens every time I hear biscuits and gravy.
Cream of tartar and saleratus. Saleratus being a salty form of baking soda. Now at that time there were not a lot of cookbooks coming out of the American West, but I actually think I found kind of the perfect one for this. Because this mining town was said to have basically
biscuits and gravy, goddamn it, South Carolina's coming out.
I'm going to be working from Los Angeles Cookery from 1881. Cream of tartar biscuits, Mrs. Milliken. 1 quart of flour, 3 heaping teaspoonfuls of pure cream of tartar, a piece of butter 2/3 the size of an egg, well worked in flour, 1 heaping teaspoonful of Babbitt's saleratus
what are you feeding your
dissolved
chickens?
in sweet milk. Make the dough as soft as can be kneaded conveniently.
Clearly, this is nostalgia for a few people here. I can see that, Tapper, yeah.
Now, there's nothing in this recipe that they wouldn't have possibly had access to, but milk would have definitely been a prized commodity, and if they were up in the hills, they probably
it's causing pain considering about to get up for a pack of fruit snacks or hunger.
Access to evaporated milk. It was a fairly new invention from the 1850s.
Evaporated milk.
Gordon.
Yeah,
you can use it basically
checks.
just like milk, though you can add a little bit of water if you want, and you could even use it in your coffee, like the coffee that I'm making from today's sponsor, Trade. Trade is a coffee subscription service that helps you.
Oi!
I broke my trade
Metal
on the bumpy road up here. 240 grams of flour.
Oh, hold on.
While you make your biscuits and gravy, for which you will need
nice
2 cups
shot,
or 240 grams of flour, 1.5 heaping teaspoons of cream of tartar, a half teaspoon of salt, 4 tablespoons of butter, a heaping half teaspoon of baking soda, about 3/4 of a cup or 175 milliliters of milk, either regular milk or evaporated milk, and that is it. And you'll notice that I cut all the ingredients in half because I don't need to make that many biscuits right now. This will still make about a dozen. So first, whisk the cream of tartar and salt into the flour, and then add the butter in little pieces and work it into the flour with your fingers.
Yeah, cut it in with your fingers.
Some nice big pieces Then stir the baking soda into the milk and pour it into the flour mixture. I honestly don't know why she mixes it into the milk rather than just putting it with the flour, which is what it would usually be done today, but I'm going to follow what she says. Now work the dough until it just comes together. If you need a little more milk, you can go ahead and add it, but you just want to add enough to make the dough stick. Once you have a nice dough, set it onto a lightly floured surface and knead it gently for just about a minute. You don't want to overwork it. And then press it out or roll it out to about a 1/2 inch thick. Then cut it into biscuits.
Good shot.
And the scraps you can kind of roll out again and cut into more biscuits. It's a very forgiving
Also, Nasal Recital 2, thank you so much for the follow. What a name. What a name.
Into a well-buttered or lard-greased cast iron skillet. Then set that in the oven at 425 degrees Fahrenheit, 220 Celsius, and bake for about 15 minutes while we take a look at what else
that just ticked me up to 450 followers on Twitch. Thank you so much.
On January 24th.
Oh my god, I'm 50 followers away from 500 on Twitch. What the fuck? What the fuck? How are we that close to 500 followers on Twitch, y'all? Jesus Christ. I appreciate that. Thank you. Oh, wow.
1848, James Marshall, working at a sawmill owned by Johann Sutter on the American River in California, found a small shiny stone in the mill race.
Uh-oh.
That was the first gold nugget found that kicked off the
California Gold Rush. Here we
within
go.
3 years, over 200,000 people made their way from all over the world to find their fortune.
Damn.
During which time, most of them lost a fortune because the price of everything absolutely skyrocketed. And that included food.
Including the
food,
food, yeah.
in San Francisco that cost 15 cents in 1848 would, by the end of 1850,
Don't worry, Doc. Yeah.
$6. A single egg could cost $1,
What?
and a barrel of flour went from $3 to $400.
Damn,
That's about $16,000 in today's money.
What the
for
fuck?
a barrel of
For
flour.
a barrel of flour?
And so even though at least at the beginning
Jesus!
of the gold rush, people were picking up gold
That's
off the ground,
crazy.
most of them weren't keeping it. It was the people who were selling things to
yeah.
the prospectors. As Pierre Burton said of the Klondike Gold Rush, the people who made money weren't the ones who found a gold mine. They found the man who found a gold mine.
They found the man who found the gold,
This rush of
yeah.
money didn't last very long, and so eventually prices came back down. But basically, whenever and wherever silver or gold was found, this same
massive
kind of
inflation, yeah.
crazy inflation took place.
Good God,
So
that's crazy.
because of that, the foods that miners ate really ran the gamut from
Not so great to
pretty
him. Yeah.
not great to
God bless
unbelievably
capitalism.
famous.
Oh
Now,
my
somewhere
God,
in the middle
R2.
is perhaps the most famous
Yeah.
miner food, and that is the Hangtown Fry.
The what?
Which supposedly was what you would order when you finally struck paper.
Hangtown Fry.
The story goes that a
Okay.
miner, having just found a load of gold, stumbled out of the Sierra foothills into Placerville. Though at the time the town was called Dry Diggins, though due to their penchant for hanging people whenever they did anything bad, it was more commonly known as Hangtown.
Oh,
There he walked into the
Hangtown. I get it.
Hotel,
Okay.
slapped a gold nugget on the bar, and ordered his favorite foods, all to be fried up in one dish. That was eggs cooked in bacon grease and then topped with fried oysters. And whether or not that's exactly true, the dish did become quite popular, not just in that
Eggs
area
cooked in
where there
bacon
were
grease and
miners,
topped
but
with
all
fried
throughout the US
oysters.
at
You
the time.
don't
Now, it was
say.
especially popular in San Francisco, where instead of canned oysters, which is what many people had to eat at the time, they were able to eat fresh oysters. Oysters were one of the most popular foods during this period.
All right.
I
That actually
did a
sounds really
video
fucking
last
good.
summer on the New York oyster craze, which is taking place around this same time. And it was so popular to eat oysters no matter who you were, even if you were a miner out in the wilderness.
Sounds good.
That
Eats fruit
within
snack.
3 years of the gold rush
I'm getting
starting,
really hungry
they had
too, chat. Holy
completely
shit.
eaten away all of the oyster beds in and around San
Oh,
Francisco.
no.
So they had to start
What?
bringing oysters down from the Seattle area. Now, if eggs
Damn,
and
that's
oysters just
crazy.
ain't
What
your
the
thing,
fuck?
'cause
They
it's
really
not
just,
really
they
something that I
cleaned
would
out
eat,
the San Francisco
then
Bay of their
there are
oyster
even
beds?
more
Holy
exotic
shit.
foods on the menu, specifically Galapagos tortoise. See,
Oh,
turtle soup, which was usually made with green turtle at the time, was very, very popular, and it was on menus
The classic show
everywhere.
Great Chefs
But
of
it
Insert
was
Place
rather
here.
pricey.
I have.
Though
I
if
have
you
knives.
just
Yes, I have.
struck it rich, then pricey didn't cut
Nice
it.
hit.
You wanted something that could really show your opulent wealth. And the Galapagos tortoise is deemed a choice luxury,
no.
even more than that of the green
Same
turtle.
10 Darwin
Now,
wrote
while
in the
many
Beagle,
were
that's
getting
true.
rich in gold, Caspar Hawkins realized that it was the tortoise trade that would make him his fortune. And so in 1850,
Group on that now,
he left San
watching it, it's
Francisco
like,
for the
it's so
Galapagos
dated now.
Islands
It
in
really
order to
is
catch
knives.
100
Yeah.
tortoises, which back in San Francisco could be sold to the miners at $1,500 a piece, or about $60,000 today.
Oh,
now, I am very happy to tell you that
Damn.
on his trip, he did not catch a single tortoise. He was a terrible tortoise hunter, but many other people were much better at it. And during the 1850s, they had really wiped out most of the Galapagos tortoises, and they're still not even recovered to this day. Now, eating these fancy exotic foods was not very common for most people, and really only happened when they discovered a big load of silver or gold.
That's insane.
And when they did this,
Holy
they
cow.
tended to kind of
Yeah, I know,
spend it
Comey.
all.
That's fucking
it was
wild,
no
isn't it?
unusual thing to see a company of these men who had never before thought of luxury beyond a good beefsteak and glass of whiskey, drinking their champagne at $10 a bottle, and eating their tongue in sardines, or warming in their smoky campfire their
I mean,
tin
hey, if you
canisters
got
of
the
turtle
money
soup
for it, fucking
and
go
lobster
for it at
salad.
that point, yeah.
And while there were miners
checks.
with their
That
bags
checks.
of silver and gold who could afford to eat high on the hog or high on the tortoise,
High on the hog or
most
high,
miners' diet was not this. Our diet consists of hard bread, flour, which we eat half-cooked, and salt pork, with
Salt pork,
occasionally
yep.
a salmon, which we purchase of the Indians. Vegetables
Salmon,
are
yeah.
not to be procured. Our drinking water comes down to us thoroughly impregnated with the mineral substances washed through the 1,000 cradles above us.
The internet
And
has
it wasn't
ruined me.
just that
The
they
internet
couldn't
has ruined
afford
me.
anything
Fuck.
better,
The
it was that
internet
they
has
couldn't
ruined me.
find
God damn it.
anything better, because most miners were not living in and around big cities like San Francisco. Most were still looking for their riches in places like this, in Cerro Gordo.
Yeah.
Here, a nice supply of groceries was really hard to come by, and even when you could find
Chef about the Rule 34 water. Akito shush.
you had to usually bid on
Akito
them
shush.
if you wanted to buy them. In 1855, Frank Marriott wrote about a small mining town where the miners prefer buying everything at auction, presuming always that your constitution will stand a mixture of salt butter, Chinese sugar, pickles, and bad brandy. Joe Bello was an auctioneer, and long before his sale commenced, he would place a keg of butter or a bag of dried apples outside his store, and the miners would surround these luxuries like flies.
Gotta draw
And
something
such
eventually.
is
No
human
worries,
nature that
Tapper. No-
even
no
in the
pressure,
mines,
no
where few
pressure.
simpletons are to be found, there was no butter so rancid, but Joe Bello could not dispose of. So miners in
Guillermo
these
del
small
Toro,
towns were
yeah.
fighting over even
Sure
the
did.
merest of basic
Points to Shape of
ingredients,
Water.
which is why the lyrics to this 19th century miners
Points
song
to Abe
probably
Sapien
rang true
from,
for most.
Hellboy.
In cabins rude, our daily food is quickly counted o'er. Beans, bread, salt meat is all we eat, and the cold earth is our floor. The bread mentioned in that song was one of two types.
You don't
the first,
say.
of course, was hardtack.
Ah,
second
there it
was
is!
something
There it is,
so
chat!
popular
There it
amongst
is! Hold on, I gotta go back.
Cold earth is
Hold
our
on.
floor. The bread mentioned in that song was one of two types. The first, of course, was hardtack.
There
And
it
the
is.
second
Let's
was
go.
something so popular amongst the
Danger
miners
bread.
that it
Danger
actually
bread.
became synonymous with them. Sometimes they were called sourdoughs.
Sourdough.
There's a reason
I
that
love
San Francisco
sourdough.
is famous
Sourdough's
for their
so good.
sourdough bread.
San Francisco
It comes from
sourdough,
the
hell
miners
yeah.
Of this period. When you were up in the
Chef
mountains for
Wojak
weeks,
pointing
sometimes
moment.
months at a time, getting a hold of fresh yeast or even powdered yeast was not easy. And so pretty much every miner above their stove hung a tin full of fermented
Y'all just
dough
wanted for
used
the
in
Doug
place of
Jones
yeast
and
for
weird
making
prosthetics.
bread,
Don't
biscuits, and
lie.
flapjacks.
Damn,
So sometimes
bird.
it was said that
Damn,
if it was
bird, but
really
also
cold,
damn, you're
the
right.
miner would actually sleep with his sourdough in his bed under his blankets with him to keep it warm. How sweet. Now, while they were up in the mountains, miners had to rely on their basic ingredients and their usually very basic cooking skills to
Exceedingly,
survive, to make their
exceedingly.
food.
Roofing tiles.
But
Yeah,
once a
Metal
mining
Greymon.
town like Cerro Gordo had grown up nearby.
Terrible rations they
would
ate. I had
tend to
hardtack.
come
Oh,
into
yeah.
town
Yeah,
to
yeah,
eat.
yeah.
Many actually lived
I met him a few
in
times.
the
He's an absolute
town.
gen of a
And that's
human, no
because
shade.
They usually were in the mine for 12 hours.
That's
a
really
day.
cool, though,
And
Bird.
just like today,
That's
after
really
a hard
neat.
days of work, you say, let's just order in. Back then, they were like, let's just go to the saloon.
just
So
go to the
just
saloon,
because
yeah.
you were going to a saloon or a restaurant to
Slept
get
with a
your
dough
food,
under his
that
blankets to
doesn't
keep it
mean that
warm.
was
So the guy had a
necessarily
bread
much
wife.
When visiting the small mining town of Angels Camp, California,
That is a
in the winter of
phrase I did not
1865,
know
Mark Twain
existed
wrote about
until
food at one
now,
establishment,
Tapper.
saying,
Jesus.
Beans and dishwater for breakfast, dishwater and beans for dinner, and both articles warmed over for supper.
Oh my
Again, this
God.
culinary monotony was usually just because it was hard to get.
It's hard to
a
get varied
varied
groceries.
grocery
Yeah,
list
no, that checks. Back in the
many
day.
of these
Yeah.
towns. Bringing in food took a long time, and so anything that could spoil couldn't be brought in. And that's why
I can't believe I
many
typed it,
of
let
the
alone
foods
sent it.
were canned. Canned fruits, canned meats, canned vegetables, and of course,
Well,
the canned milk,
congratulations,
like the kind
Tapper.
we're
You threw
using
me
in
for a
today's
loop on that
recipe.
one.
Even many saloons had to rely on these canned ingredients, like one that was
Trad
in a
wife,
mine
I
in
sleep,
Globe,
bread
Arizona.
wife, real
The menu
shit.
never varied. It consisted of a platter of thin, evil-tasting steak cooked until it was like leather. This was passed around the table.
Amazing.
Bread, coffee,
Amazing,
condensed
Guilford,
milk,
amazing.
And nearly always sugar. Sometimes this was missing. Occasionally boiled rice.
Rule
or
34 is
stewed
bread
dried
wife.
fruit.
Akito,
For
no!
this, we paid $9 each a week. Now, even if the steak was evil tasting, at least it was steak. At least it was fresh. And many mining towns did have access to fresh meat. Here in Cerro Gordo,
yeah,
they had
yeah.
cows and
chickens,
chickens
yeah.
and pigs and goats. And they had a lake that was nearby and a river that was nearby where they could get fresh fish and everything. And then there was, of course, big game hunting, so they ate bighorn sheep. Essentially, for most miners, what you ate came down to what you had access to. That and who was doing the cooking.
That's also
See,
true.
not only were many miners Mexican and Chinese and foreign in general,
Yep.
but many
Yep.
of the
Sure were.
saloon owners
Sure were.
and restaurant owners and the cooks were Mexican, Chinese,
German, Irish, Italian. That also
And
checks
so
out,
those
yeah.
cuisines were actually very popular already here in California and throughout the American West.
Nice.
And this very multicultural cuisine can actually be seen in a dinner that took place in
Really?
the 1880s. It actually took place in New York but it was made up of a bunch of people who had been here right when the gold rush was starting, and so they would get together every year and eat the foods that they used to eat. The champagne served was a brand from San Francisco, specially procured for the occasion. Under the caption, "To order if you want it," were grizzly bear steaks with frijoles, ribs of antelope with tortillas, carne seca with chili colorados, fried salt pork with slap.
I'm sorry, I'm still focusing on grizzly bear steaks. Holy shit. Dude. Damn. I'm still focusing on the grizzly bear steaks. Holy shit, y'all. Oh, that sounds real fucking tasty. Yo, I'd try that. I'd try that.
Jacks, stewed jackass rabbit with Moscow, mule rump steak with hardtack, and mysterious stew a la Chinese. Now, exactly what that mysterious stew a la Chinese was, I'm not sure. But Chinese food in general was very, very popular amongst
humans
the
will try
miners.
to eat anything. Damn right, Tapper. Damn right.
Would often eat a fairly new dish called chop suey. It was on every menu. And
damn, you took down a bear. We're eating good tonight. Yeah, right, R2?
Yeah. Chinese miners would eat. Brent has found different things from China here in Cerro Gordo, and it's just crazy that it's come all this way back to the 1800s.
That's crazy.
And now it's just
oh, that's really cool looking. Wow.
Now, perhaps one of the most iconic foreign cuisines that came to mining here in the U.S. was from the Cornish people. The people of Cornwall in the southwest of England were mining tin and copper as far back as the early Bronze Age. So when the silver mines of Colorado and California opened up, many a Cornishman came over to put his skills to good use. They were called Cousin Jacks, and some of the foods that they brought over had wonderfully whimsical names, like kidley broth, figgy hobbin, and junket and cream. I had to look all those. Kidley broth is a sort of onion broth with bread chunks. Figgy hobbin is a pastry stuffed with raisins. And junket and cream is a sort of pudding made of curdled milk and nutmeg. But there was one dish that they brought over that I did not have to look up, and that's because it is still rather popular in many communities here in the U.S. today and back in jolly old England, and that is the famous Cornish pasty.
Yep, there it is.
A hand pie filled with beef, onion, rutabaga or swede, and potato.
Interesting.
Fortunate indeed is the miner so steeped in connubial bliss as to possess a better half who in her loving care, as a token of her affection, places a pasty or two in the lunchbox of her miner spouse. A letter from home.
Wild West Hot Pockets.
Such a setup. Unfortunately, my better half is not here to make me a pasty, so I'm going to just have to stick with my biscuits and gravy.
Biscuits and gravy.
So I better make that gravy. So for this, you can start with any greasy meat you might have. You can use sausage or bacon, but I'm going to use the meat that most miners had access to, and that is
salt pork.
Now, it needs to be rinsed to get some of the salt out as much as you can, and then chopped up really, really fine, and then put it in a skillet and cook it until most of the fat has melted. Once it's cooked, remove it from the pan.
Look at all that pork fat, chat. Look at all that pork fat.
We're going to sprinkle in some flour. Now, how much you use really is kind of based on how thick you want your gravy, but typically it's about the same as the amount of
1 to 1.
Stir it all in, making sure there aren't any lumps, and cook it for just a couple of minutes until it starts to thicken, and then add some of that evaporated milk. Now, one thing I did find is that if you use evaporated milk, it has a lower water consistency than regular milk, and so it makes the flour mixture kind of seize up. But if you just keep whisking, it finally turns back into a nice smooth gravy. Then you can go ahead and add some of that pork back in and dish it up on your biscuits. And here we are, biscuits and gravy for an Old West miner.
Ooh, that looks good. Hell yeah.
I love biscuits and gravy.
Same. Big same.
You do not need to add more salt to that. You got a little pepper. But it is plenty salty because of that pork.
Yep,
now the biscuits did not rise as much as I would have expected, especially because I'm at like 8,000 feet elevation. It's Max from editing, and I have been racking my brain trying to figure out why my biscuits didn't rise. And as I'm editing, I realized that the milk that I put into the actual recipe did not have any baking soda.
Oh,
For some reason, I can't recall why, I made 2 bowls of milk, and the one that went in was the one without any baking soda.
Max!
So, just letting you know, it wasn't the recipe that screwed up, it was the Max that screwed up. I made a mistake, and there it is. So if you make this recipe, just add the baking soda.
Oh my
and
goodness.
it should work out just fine.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, luckily, they did still taste really good, so I'll let that Max tell you about that. But the flavor is excellent. So are they the best biscuits and gravy I've ever tasted? No. My grandpa's biscuits and gravy are the best I've ever tasted, but If I was a miner out for days at a time on a mountain, that would have been a darn good breakfast.
Well, there you go.
And so, yeah, go ahead and make them or go buy some biscuits and gravy somewhere. One of my favorite dishes. And check out Brent Underwood's channel, Ghost Town Living.
Man couldn't get his biscuits up. Oh my God, Akito. Oh my goodness. Okay, chat. Real quick, before we watch the last video of the day, since Kingfisher requested it, and spent the channel points for it. Thank you again, by the way. I need to grab something to eat because holy Jesus, watching all of this has made me so fucking hungry. So I'll BRB again, okay? One sec. All right, chat. We're back. We are back. Oh, kind of just remember the first thing I've eaten since breakfast. Almost 4 p.m. now. Oh no, Akito. Oh no, buddy. Oh no. Googled a recipe for biscuits and gravy after that last Max video. That didn't help. I feel ya. I literally, yeah, because I ran to the kitchen, I microwaved me a bowl of some leftover pasta and added some chicken sausages to that. I'm very good to go now, chat. I'm very much good to go now, chat. Let's see what our old buddy, Greg, is up to in this video that Kingfisher so wonderfully spent the channel points to request. So let's fucking boogie, chat. Let's go.
I'm the rootinest, tootinest, rip-rootinest, price-cuttingest, YouTubingest drinks man on the internet. And I'm here to tell you about everything that Red Dead Redemption 2 gets wrong about drinking in the Wild West.
I love Greg. Holy shit.
Well, howdy, partners. Sit a spell. Let me jaw at you a bit. I got to talk to you about Red Dead Redemption 2. And some bees have gotten my bonnet about it because, boy, they get some things
Greg's
wrong
energy is
about
fantastic. It
Wild
really
West
is.
drinking. And to be fair, I really should be fair here, these are mostly problems that you're going to find across the entire Western genre. The entire field of movies and books and TV shows are just filled to the brim with myths and half-truths and outright lies. And in defense of Rockstar and Red Dead, they didn't set out to make a game that accurately portrays the West. They set out to make a game that accurately portrays a Western, and that's
a Western. Yes,
entirely.
Exactly.
And to that end, I would say that they succeeded very admirably. I haven't completed.
I feel like they
yet,
succeeded in that.
The game is
I
gorgeous.
think they've
Language
succeeded
is
in that.
fantastic. The story is engrossing and true to the genre, and all of it, really, they just nailed it. And obviously, that's why it's gone on to become one of the most popular games of all time, or certainly of the last few years. But I can't help but think,
Can we get a couple beers, please?
man, that just ain't so. And this, of course, is a drinking show, so I'm mainly going to be talking about that aspect of things here today, though I'll definitely have to touch on a few other points of order just because I got to get it off my chest.
Danger,
so let's talk
curves
about
ahead.
those drinks in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. There aren't any. Now, that's not entirely true, because you could drink a beer or straight liquor. And there's an advertisement in a newspaper you can find in-game for a Saint Denis Sazerac, which I'll be making later in this episode. But you can't
nice. Let's go.
to drink in the game, as far as I know. And that is wrong. I mean, that is like wildly just... That is just
Doug Dimmadome beer splaining. Oh my God, Christy.
Here in the 1890s West, okay? It's probably based entirely on mythology that evolved in Hollywood through the mid-20th century, and it's not based on any kind of historical fact. Cocktails at this time in real life, cocktails would have been everywhere. The Jerry Thomas Bartender's Guide, the cocktail guide from where flows basically all
Welcome back,
libations,
Pepsi Doggo.
was published in 1862. And that period of time, from the 1860s up to Prohibition, is really regarded as the golden age of cocktails.
That's
Bartenders
very
at that
true.
time, they were
That's
big
very true,
celebrities.
actually.
They would have been
Yeah,
interviewed
yeah,
by the
yeah.
newspapers and have human interest pieces written about them. Specific bartenders were called out by name as must-see attractions in travelogues at the time, and that's must-see attractions because the stuff they were doing flair bartending. So they would do these huge, incredible arts,
Christy,
and
oh my
spinning
God.
circles and gouts of juggle fire, all kind. I mean, it was like
More like
a circus,
cocktails.
and in fact,
God
Jerry
damn,
Thomas's
Christy.
New York
All
Party
right.
Exchange
All
was
right.
upstairs from P.T. Barnum's museum.
10 out of 10.
And before you say, but Greg,
10
that
out of 10.
might have been
Cocktails, woohoo.
This here is the
I love
Wild
how
West.
I'm sorry. I love how you and Warlock both went for the same fucking joke. Amazing. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 for the both of you. Holy shit.
I gotta tell you, Jerry Thomas spent much of his career
Oh my
in Gold
God.
Rush, San Francisco, a Wild West town if ever there was. Now, it's true, not every town would have had a well-apportioned saloon that could produce the fanciest of mixed elixirs, but a lot of the towns
Single
and
brain
saloons
cell
you
per
visit
chat,
Red Dead
exactly.
Redemption 2 are quite built up and civilized, especially like in Saint Denis, which is a stand-in for New Orleans. Even in saloons that
Mom,
had
it's my
limited
turn
access
for the
to
brain
necessities,
cell.
those bartenders would have been coming up with some kind of a mixed drink to entice their customers. Certainly by 1899, the
By
year
that
that
point,
Red
I would
Dead Redemption
assume
2 takes
so,
place in.
yeah.
Everything people needed to make cocktails was in supply. Sugar would have been fairly easy to come by, even in fairly bare bones settlements. Once a train came in, that's it. It's all bets are off. You've got full-on civilization coming in on the rails very quickly. Even stagecoaches would have been
Very
bringing
true,
in
very true.
sugar, so they would have had access to sugar, right? Ice may not have been everywhere. But it was definitely available in all but the most desolate and remote outposts. And I want to emphasize
wow.
that point. Ice from town to town,
Wish I got the
maybe
brain
this
cell right
town
now.
didn't have
Rox
ice
is
in
catching
it,
up on her
but
YouTube
probably the next town
subscriptions.
ever did. In addition to the international ice trade, which was at its peak by this time, there was also ice being produced using compressors and ammonia evaporation machines, and that was commercialized as early as 1834.
that's-
So if the town you're in didn't have
wants
ice,
to borrow the single brain
next
cell.
one over
I do,
probably
I
did.
do.
Fresh citrus was seasonal, but that's what things like oleosaccharides and shrubs are for. Saloon owners had figured out how to preserve and extend the life and utility of their citrus and their fresh ingredients that would have gone bad for like 200 years prior to that. I mean, this was a solved problem basically by 1899. And spirits were everywhere. You could get whiskey and gin. I remember one of the things I think is shocking is that Red Dead Redemption 2 does not have tequila anywhere in the game. I mean, what? Everything people needed to make cocktails.
I'm going to need it back about 10 minutes. They did. Go back to work. Understood, Akito, yes.
Right after this.
I love coffee. I can't really seem to get enough of the stuff.
As a maximally autistic trade lover, we are sorry for killing the cowboy. Oh my God, Pepsi Doggo.
The 1890s Roper. Yeah. No, I don't think that is what I got. I don't think so. No, I'd say it's more used car salesman. I think this is Stingray, actually. No, I don't think so. Oh, come on. Really? Okay. All right, fine. No refunds. Okay. Thank you. Sure. Okay, so what drinks did they make in the Wild West? Well, obviously they made old fashions using either sugar or syrup. More commonly syrup, actually, if ice was at hand.
It's not a how-to-drink episode until Greg mentions an old-fashioned at least once.
Since 1899. Another drink that would have been around in
Let's be real here.
Wild West is the gin martini. It would have definitely been available by 1899. Probably not made with London dry gin. That might have been out, but you would have found a gin martini that was a 50-50 mix of like Old Tom with dry vermouth and a couple dashes of orange bitters and a lemon peel twist if you happen to have lemons handy. And yeah, that's a drink that Mr. Arthur Morgan may have enjoyed, as well as the sweet vermouth version, the Martinez. While I'm on gin, gin slings have been enjoyed since the early
gin. Oh yeah, Singapore sling. Yeah.
Claims to have invented the Singapore sling in 1915.
Old fashions and gin martinis. Hell yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Of the exact same drink being called a pink
I've
sling.
I've not had a Singapore sling before, but I feel like that's a drink I would enjoy personally. I feel like that's a drink I would enjoy personally.
I could see a Singapore sling on a steamship in 1899 or something very, very similar to it. Let's go back to whiskey, the mint julep. The mint julep dates to the early 1800s, and mint grows like a weed. Any half-decent saloon owner would have had a little plot of mint growing, outside of their saloon for their use. They would have done that. That's part of the job. There is, of course, the drink that popularized the drinking straw, the sherry cobbler, which dates back to like at least the 1820s, and would have been on any number of menus in Red Dead Redemption 2. The gin and tonic was invented in the early 1800s, and it's not a bad way to cool off in that hot desert sun. Would have been available. Punches, which are basically large format cocktails that don't contain bitters but do contain citrus, were enormously popular in the 1700s. By 1899, they've fallen out of a bit of favor, having become passé due to the explosion of popularity of the cocktail. But single-serving rum punches in the form of swizzles would have been around. So you go to Guarma and you don't really have a chance to enjoy a drink in Guarma because you're very busy liberating a plantation's slaves, which is good. Under other conditions, I think you would have found daiquiris there. I think you would have found rum swizzles there.
Point of order, mint doesn't grow like a weed. Mint is a weed. I don't know about the rest of the states, but in the southeast, it's unkillable. I can see that.
Punches. You would have found daiquiris.
I can see that 100%.
I know that there's a story about the daiquiri being invented by an American engineer in 1902, so a couple of years after this game takes place.
I love daiquiris.
There is, I think, no doubt that sugar, lime, and rum and ice were being enjoyed by the locals for years, if not decades, before that guy showed up. So give John Marston a daiquiri, damn it. Okay, you would have had daiquiris in St. Denis. You would have. Or something exactly like a daiquiri.
100%.
Tequila has been made since at least the 1600s, yet there is literally zero tequila in Red Dead Redemption 2, which is doubly weird when you consider that 1 in 3 cowboys in the Wild West were actually vaqueros in Mexico. They kind of invented the whole cowboy.
I once rented a house from a really awful creep of a landlord before moving out. I planted mint in all the ground garden beds. Damn bird!
I didn't take this time to point out that estimates currently suggest that 1 in 4 cowboys were black. So the idea that it's
oh my God, Akito.
a very white guy thing is a bit of revisionist history. It kind of makes cowboy superhero John Wayne's comments in that infamous
shifting temperatures
interview.
I don't salt the earth, I mint the earth. Understood, bird. Understood.
Buying his own mythology is just perpetuating a lot of bullshit. That's what he was doing. If you're noticing a trend here, it's that there should have been cocktails everywhere in Red Dead Redemption 2. They would be ubiquitous. I've had a few comments over the years asking me for a Drinks of the Wild West episode, and I've always been resistant because basically all classic cocktails are drinks of the Wild West, which is why
That's
this whole
true, that's
section of the
true.
episode has basically been a clip show of early HTD episodes. So the lack of cocktails in Red Dead Redemption 2 is just dead wrong. The drinks should have been everywhere. The thing that shouldn't have been everywhere, guns, actually. Nice. Not to get on too deep a tangent here, but gun control in the supposedly Wild West until January.
Jesus,
extremely important.
So what, Bert? What you're telling me is your anger was more than justified. Understood.
Like Deadwood,
Understood.
Dodge City, and on and on and on and on had signs posted all over the outskirts of town that carrying weapons was prohibited, and that your first stop coming into town needed to either be at a sheriff office or a hotel to have your firearms secured in a safe. I'm not exaggerating. The gunfight at the OK Corral, the one where Wyatt Earp's legend was solidified in Tombstone, Arizona, was fought over a group of fellas refusing to disarm inside of city limits. So all this hip shooter, gunfighter, Wild West stuff is mythology.
Bird, that's
and
awful.
lies. You know, another thing that's missing from Red Dead Redemption 2 is ice cream. People love that stuff. It's generally a great business to get into. And in recounting the events of the gunfight at the OK Corral, Wyatt referenced passing his favorite ice cream parlor on his way to the showdown.
Yo, Elliot, what's going on, buddy? How are you?
There were enough ice cream.
Thank you for that posture check.
Wyatt Earp had a favorite picked out. So this whole idea of it being an untamed,
what's going on, dude? How are you?
Wild place.
Sorry, we've been watching so many food videos today that I got really hungry and I actually ended up making myself an early dinner. So we're continuing to watch videos while I eat. Hope you're doing well, friend. Hope you're doing well. A little sleepy, but doing okay. That's a mood and a half, bud. That's a mood and a half. That is a mood and a half. Holy moly. Glad you're doing well, though. Glad you're doing well.
Not really all that true. And I wonder, too, if it might be to justify some of the stuff that we got up to out there on the frontier. You know, well, it was a wild time. You know, things were different. Now, I mentioned earlier that even though the game doesn't give you a chance to drink it, it does give you a recipe for a Saint Denis Sazerac. So,
interesting.
They're going to make the Saint Denis Sazerac.
Saint Denis Sazerac.
I'm going to use the exact instructions from the newspaper.
Right.
It is essentially a Sazerac. First step is we're going to do an absinthe rinse. I am using St. George's Absinthe Verte.
Okay.
I like this one a lot. I poured a little in there. Going to coat the inside of my glass pretty well.
Yep.
And
Swirl it
just
around.
pour off the rest directly onto the floor. Per our newspaper, we need to fill this up with crushed ice and just let it sit to chill. So, in my mixing glass, I'm going to start with a sugar cube. Now, these are Demerara sugar cubes.
Okay.
I'm splitting hairs here. I just know that one of the big things with using Demerara sugar over white, that why is it done, is, well, because it's a little closer to the sugar that would have been available in 1899. Sugar on a cone, like, for example, is where most of their sugar was made.
It really does, yeah. It sounds like I'm feeling, yeah, I can see that.
Much more molasses in it. Start with one sugar cube in my mixing glass. There it is. The newspaper recipe calls for 2 dashes of whatever bitters your local pharmacy is making, which I love, because that's accurate, that's right. But the drink we traditionally call a Sazerac calls for Peychaud's.
Peychaud's bitters, yeah.
I'm a bit torn. If I'm making a Saint Denis, should I specifically be using something other than Peychaud's to set it aside? I think probably that's right. So let's make this one with Bogart's bitters, which is a very rustic, revived, old-timey bitters recipe.
I thought it was going to go for the Angostura, because Greg loves Angostura bitters.
Bottle.
I honestly thought it was going to go for the Angostura again.
Or if you have dasher tops like this, which we'll put a link to those in the Amazon links below, you can just put that on there. And so we want to add 2 dashes of this to our sugar cube.
Nice.
1, 2. The Saint Denis Sazerac specifically calls for cognac. The Sazerac,
cognac? Holy shit!
Earlier recipe.
Oh, we're going fancy today, huh?
So that's another thing that's, I think, historically accurate. So let's make this 2 ounces of cognac.
Oh, we're going fancy today. God
now,
damn.
I'm going to break up that sugar cube
to
help it get started dissolving before we add ice to this.
Holy shit.
So I'm going to add, and so it's already fallen apart. That's great. It won't dissolve into the cognac very well at all. But that's okay. We're going to add ice to it.
Getting bougie today, yeah.
Crack some ice in there.
Am I kidding? Ice.
And we're just going to stir that up really well. We don't need to, like, oh, that's part of its charm. You want to leave some of that sugar undissolved. Don't worry. No matter how hard I try, we will not successfully dissolve all of it. There'll still be plenty of grains in there.
There's still going to be some sugar in there. It's just the nature of it.
Our first glass, it's thoroughly chilled. And strain our Saint Denis back into it. Neat. even though it's in an old fashioned. And now I will peel a lemon over it.
Yep, there we go.
And give that a twist. Drop it right in there. And there we have a Saint Denis Sazerac. Now, before I get into this sipping, let me just do a little bit of background on the Sazerac. The Sazerac is a drink that is very closely associated with the city of New Orleans.
New Orleans,
It's supposedly a drink that was invented there. And I know I'm about to have an entire city coming from me, but that's also not really true. The Sazerac is just really a name for an improved whiskey cocktail, which can be made a few different ways, typically with a little maraschino, but the New Orleans variety also fits the mold.
That checks.
According to Wondrich, even that name wasn't unique. Other places also were calling their improved whiskey cocktails.
I'm aware, Sharon, don't worry.
And really any cocktail, and by that I mean old-fashioned, so gin, rum, etc., could have been improved using the same kind of improvement formula.
Improved whiskey
I made
cocktail.
a drink a while ago called an improved whiskey cocktail. It's a 1860s, 1890s kind of drink. Specifically would have definitely been served in the Wild West, and it's pretty close to a Sazerac. Woo! I think that if you're going to use the sugar cube and not simple
Saint
syrup,
Denis Sazerac full
you
of
really should just build it in the glass you're drinking it in, because this is unsweetened. This is extremely dry, tasty, if you like cognac, bitters, and lemon rather.
Ooh, interesting.
But that's what it tastes like. This is basically cold, neat spirits with a little bit of water, so it's a little bit watered down, but it is bitters dominant. It's a bitter drink. It is earthy, lemony, cognac-y. The cognac tastes essentially
I was about to say
slightly like very unsweet raisins.
Yeah, the
And
cognac's
lemon.
really the
Lemon is pretty
predominant
dominant
flavor
as well, because that
profile.
twist of lemon does a
I would-
lot
I would
as far as the
imagine.
flavor here goes.
I would
It is
imagine.
dry, non-sweet raisins. That's what it tastes like. It's a stiff drink. It is strong, and yeah, not too bad actually. I kind of like it. It has a nice little evolution. I think it could be a little sweeter. I think having it just be a touch sweeter would have made a big difference here.
Just a tiny
made
bit
Sazerac
sweeter.
on
I would-
HD a long
yeah.
while back, and I used, quote, the wrong ingredients. I didn't use Peychaud's basically. And to rectify that, I'll do a proper Sazerac so I can compare it to the Saint Denis. Okay, so let's talk about how I would make a Sazerac if I'm making one myself. This is gonna be like New Orleans style. So first off, I'm not gonna do the absinthe rinse first. I will do a rinse, but I'm gonna do the ice first. Okay, so I'm gonna just crack a big cube here.
Oh, the ice. Oh, you know what?
Just let that chill my glass. We're just gonna let that chill in my glass.
See what happens.
If you want, you can give it a little stir. It kind of helps it.
Does it?
It's got plenty of time.
I imagine the flavor
Next,
profile
we're gonna
might change
start
a bit,
here with
depending on
some
when you
syrup
do the
in our mixing
absinthe
glass.
rinse.
Why not?
I could see that happening.
A sugar cube, like the book says. Well, I mean, frankly, it didn't get into my drink at all. It didn't dissolve. There's really no amount of stirring that's going to get that in there. I would do, that's my own personal taste. I'm going to do 2 bar spoons. Yeah. I do kind of like my drinks a little sweet. And that's still not very much sugar, right? That's pretty light. So I'm going to do 2 bar spoons of sugar. I did this one with the Bogart's bitters. Okay, sure. You get why I did that. But I really do think that Peychaud's is really the key thing with the Sazerac. And I stand by that. It has its own unique flavor. I think it's really important to this drink. So I'm going to do 2 dashes.
Peychaud's bitters,
I've heard that
nice.
people go even more. I've also heard that people do a split of Peychaud's and Ango. It's not a crazy idea to do 2 of each. But I'm going to let this one just be Peychaud's. I'm just going to do Peychaud's on its own. You can always do that kind of a drink, you know, if you wanted to throw some Angostura in there. So, cognac versus rye. I gotta say,
what
I'm
are we
gonna
doing?
make my
Cognac or
Sazerac,
rye?
I'm gonna
Let's
go with the rye. So we're gonna put in 2 ounces of rye. I'm using an Old Forester rye. By the way, these bottles that I'm using here, available with Curiata. If you are
that's going to be a really good flavor.
Shipped to your home.
A really, really good rye. That's going to be some.
Drink.curiata.com can help you out. Probably, if you live in the United States of America, it serves about 70 or 80% of the U.S. population currently. They should have this Pierre Ferrand 1840 cognac.
You know, the bottle of rye probably.
This, by the way,
Angel's Envy.
Pierre Ferrand made this with the
very nice,
help
very
from
nice.
David Wondrich to make a cognac that would have been appropriate to 1840, 1899, that style of cognac. It's the right stuff. So, we got our bitters, we got our spirit, we got our simple.
All right.
We're ready at this point for some ice.
Ice time.
I'm gonna crack some ice in here. Give it a stir. Now, I don't need to stir as aggressively or as long because I've already got my sugars dissolved.
Yeah, because the simple syrup
instead of a granulated sugar. Perfect. I'm gonna let that sit. Now I'm gonna empty the ice out of this. I'm gonna hit that with a little St. George absinthe.
Absinthe rinse.
The Curiata. Swirl that around in there. Great, and then that's perfect. And now we'll strain our drink into a glass. Take a lemon twist, give that a little whoof, beautiful.
That's really nice.
Drop it in. And this is a Sazerac.
The lemon twist is so classy.
A New Orleans Sazerac, right alongside your Saint Denis. I have a funny.
The lemon twist is really, really classy.
A lot better. A lot more.
That's good. That's good.
The absinthe is way more present. It's enough that it really clears and opens up your nose and sinuses. There is a little bit, and I know you guys think I'm crazy. There's a little bit of anise flavor. I think I get at least in Coca-Cola. The absinthe and
that's got to be from the rye.
The Peychaud's kind of conspire to taste a bit like the nasty bitter parts of Coca-Cola, which in this cocktail is wonderful. There are cherry notes in there.
I like brandy, but this drink just a little spice coming off the rye. Yeah.
It is just barely balanced with the sugar. I mean, only less would be a little undersweetened. You know, if you compare it, it's dry. That's real bone dry. Not bad though. This is chocolatier in a way. It sounds crazy, but this is a little more cherry, lemony. Certainly lemon nose from that. The lemon is present. I mean, you get a lot of lemon off of a little twist of good lemon peel like that. This is a complicated and wonderful and delicious cocktail. With a sugar cube, you would not have gotten as consistent a balancing. It's less.
Yeah, I was about to say. I feel like with the simple, you're probably going to get more of a balance,
right? But it's at least consistent. I know I'm adding something that will.
I kind of want to try this. I don't have any rye on me, nor cognac.
You know, those granulate. If you have grains of sugar sitting on the bottom of a cocktail, you're really not getting them until you eat them. They don't really do much to the drink. And in the way
that's just mixology in a nutshell.
Described in the game, we didn't even get sugar to move from our mixing
because you want to chill the drink with the ice, but you don't want ice in your glass, so you chill the glass.
I strongly
with some ice first.
I just do. I think it's better.
Mix up your drink and then pour.
Using a syrup, by the way.
Pour your mixed drink in.
I talked about the drinks that should have been in Red Dead Redemption 2, and then I made.
Someone insists on raw sugar in a cold cocktail or being a snob about a grainy drink with poor sugar distribution. Thank you, Bird. Thank you. Thank you.
I've been playing Red Dead Redemption 2 a little bit on Twitch. You might catch me there at twitch.tv.
I will take a Metropolitan over a Manhattan, but rise a winner in a Sazerac. Agreed. Agreed. All right, chat. We're gonna do one more video before we call it a night. And I was looking through how to drink, and I remembered a video Greg did, right? I remember a video Greg did about a certain video game a lot of us in chat play, and often play together. That's right, chat. He does Helldivers 2 themed drinks in this episode. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go.
How about a flaming cup of liberty?
Yeah!
How to drink. I started playing Helldivers 2 because I'm always looking for new things to do.
We're democracy!
I have this show, and so I need things like Helldivers 2 to do drinks from. I didn't think I was going to like it, but I'm addicted to it. I stay up all night on my Steam Deck. After my wife falls asleep, I get under the covers and I play
oh my god,
games
Pepsi Doggo, nice.
Much too late, which is not healthy. But yeah, I really like the game. And there's a thing, when you throw a hand grenade in it, you might say,
how about a nice cup of liberty?
So how do you make a cup of liberty now that the flames have gone out on this thing? You're gonna need to get a couple bottles of Coca-Cola and cook them down. I started with 750 milliliters of Coca-Cola, and I cooked it down to about 180 milliliters.
Oh wow, okay.
Is make a thick kind of Coca-Cola molasses.
Because that's super syrupy now, yeah.
Other than that, it's pretty standard stuff. 1 ounce of lime juice.
Lime juice, yep.
Then you need 1 ounce of overproof rum. The overproof rum I happen to like for this.
All right.
151 Demerara. Then you're gonna need half an ounce of mezcal. The mezcal that I used is Mezcal Union Uno. Then you're gonna need half an ounce of cinnamon whiskey. Just use Fireball. Why is there cinnamon whiskey in it, right? Because it's a thing that explodes. It's on fire. It's a bomb. But a boom boom. Then you're gonna need 1 ounce of this Coke tar. Why Coke tar? You know, my theory here too is that like everything in this setting is like awful. It's recycled. It's garbage. It's imitation. It's shitty. So like, forget Coca-Cola. Forget even Coke syrup. We're gonna reduce Coca-Cola down to Coke tar. I like it. To garnish this, you're gonna want to go to a party store and get yourself some cake
god,
sparklers.
chat, here we go.
This little guy doesn't spit out too much smoke, and the sparks don't go too very far. The main thing is you gotta have the sparks. I'm gonna take a cable tie. How to drink first. Will my smoke detector
Let's go!
Who knows? Oh, they last for a while. Okay, thank you.
The
That's
most
enough of that. Thank you
super
very much.
super Earth
So here's my
approved.
cup of
Super
liberty.
Earth approved. Right there.
That makes me. Woo! Oh, whoa, that's awesome. I love that. This is neat. So there is a.
Oh my God.
Like a tanginess that it starts out as, metallic kind of a tang. And that turns into, it's moderated and enhanced by the lime juice. Loving that.
That's, oh.
It has like a molasses.
Oh God.
To it. I love it. It really sticks down in here. It's actually really well balanced. It is just the right.
Oh, Sharon, hell yeah, you're like me. I love Dr. Pepper.
It's a late
I
note.
love
I'm
Dr.
sorry,
Pepper.
I'm
Yeah,
off
yeah,
track
yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
It just showed up. The mezcal is so balanced in here right now because otherwise it could overpower. And it shows up, later on. After
Later
you
on.
kind of walked
Left
away
field.
from it for a second there, and it's like, hello, a little smoke. And it actually shows up just after the cinnamon does, really, which is kind of cool. There's
Late
cinnamon
arrival.
Coca-Cola, there's cinnamon whiskey here. They kind of work together. Now I'm getting some Band-Aid notes. This is like a gift that keeps on giving.
Band-Aid
I know
notes?
if
What do
you're
you
not into
mean?
it,
What do you
and I'm
mean,
not,
Greg?
Like, if you're not into mezcals and Ryla whiskeys, you'd be like, Band-Aid, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's like a desirable thing. It's a dark flavor. It's got these metallic notes.
I would try this.
It
I'm not even
is
kidding you, chat.
Smoky.
I'm not
I
even
couldn't be
kidding.
happier. This is so perfect. What was that? There was like a new note in there. It was just a different expression. The mezcal and
Reloading.
the rum really clung to each other on that sip
Oh.
and turned into something totally different. Man, what a cool. This is actually good. So this is kind of a stunt drink. Make stuff like this because it looks cool on camera. And also they have to taste good and they have to be fitting in the world. Maybe you make them once or whatever. But if you're interested in mixology, you should get yourself some Coca-Cola and cook it down and try this. Because
that's
this is awesome.
that's a whole new flavor profile. Yeah.
We're gonna move on now. There
whole
are
new
other references
flavor
to the Dixie
profile
game.
once you
I
do
had
that.
a whole different version of this episode I was planning that had things like bug juice, and I think we had a SEAR artillery, which was gonna be like a riff on a French 71, French 71, French 76. What the fuck's wrong with my brain? French 75. Numbers. What are they about? And then
Numbers. What are they about? Greg, you good, buddy? You good?
Okay, and I found a bunch of vending machines, and you know what? They got names. They are the Taste of Democracy, the #1 soft drink in the galaxy. It leads in all the flavor polls. We'll come back to that in a
The
moment.
Taste of Democracy,
Taste of Freedom
yep.
vending machine that has 4 drinks in it. Dr. Democracy, Mr. Taste, Professor Delicious, and Yum Esquire. And I really
Dr. Democracy, holy shit.
Wait a minute.
That's
Every
so
single one of
good.
these is a Dr.
That's so
Pepper
good.
Ripoff. I just did an episode with a Dr. Pepper riff, the Perca-Colas. I'm not going to do it again, so that one's not coming up in the episode. So let's make Democracy Drafts premium light beer, not suitable for traders to democracy. What would that be? Well, again, I think that everything in this setting is recycled nightmare fuel.
Recycled
Kinda
nightmare
like
fuel.
in Warhammer 40,000, where people eat corpse starch.
Corpse starch,
recycling
yeah.
Corpses and stuff like that. What I want to make here is like synthetic beer. Something that isn't beer, but that is beer-ish.
Beer-ish?
We interrupt your regularly scheduled freedom with this message.
So Rocket Money reached
Beer-ish?
out and asked if I'd check out their app, and I did, and I actually loved it.
The beer adjacent, yes.
I lucked out because I just had to order a kegerator for another episode that I'm working on.
Oh my
Big
God, he's got a
episode. I can't
kegerator
wait
now,
to finish this
chat.
episode, but I needed
He's got a
kegerator
whole
for it.
ass
Weird.
kegerator, chat.
Anyway,
Let's
I got
go.
this kegerator. I bought it from cornykegs.com. David is a super cool guy. Check out his website for all of your kegging and brewing needs, I think. And he sent me a bunch of freebies with it. These are little hops extracts that you can add to things. He gave me a whole safety sheet, but the joke's on him because I can't read.
The joke's on him, I can't read.
Topsoil to make a fake beer. What do we need it to be? We need to have some alcohol in it.
Yep.
We need the hops.
Yep.
And it's got to be malty. I got a solution for that. Malta Goya.
Oh, that checks.
And I haven't made this yet. I'm going to start with 2 ounces of vodka.
That checks, yeah. Oh, what now? Kegerator. It's what gives beer its fizz, Sharon. Yeah.
That's 7. I'm going to do some more. I want this to be about a 12-ouncer. I don't know if you've ever had this, but this smells like chocolate beer. It's not going to be a light beer.
No, it's not.
I may have fucked up.
I may have fucked
My
up.
dad Dave over there at Corny Kegs gave me a whole lot of different hop soils, and I have.
That's a lot of different hop soil. Holy cow!
Ambrosia, Twisted Fruit Bomb, Amarilla, Dank and Stormy.
Dank and Stormy. I love that name.
Well, I kind of
Dank and Stormy. Holy crap.
Let's go with that. It does mention a thing called a toothpick test, where you literally dip a toothpick in here and then kind of swish that around in a glass. I think that the same thing would be to literally.
Why are they so small? Because they're super concentrated. You don't need a lot.
Just touch. That's what I think.
Sharon, with stuff as potent as hops oil, you don't need a lot, like at all. Like one drop, like that's it. That's literally all you need. They're super potent. So a bottle that small will last you quite a while.
And you can just see it like kind of across the surface. Bar spoon? Wow, I don't have a bar spoon? Man, that's groovy. Well, I have a lele stick. We'll use that.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, that does the trick, sure. Look at the head on that sucker, huh? That looks like a nice stout. That works really well. That tastes like a sweet kind of stouty beer. I think we can get away with just a little touch more. Here, I'm going to, instead, I'm not gonna use a drop. We know that's risky. Risky behavior. We're just gonna do a little poke and like a bubble of it. There we go.
Oh my God, Galaxy.
This is perfect. I could not be happier.
Democracy giraffes. Let's go.
For imitation beer, I don't think I could have nailed
I want this man to make me a drink that won't make me stop seeing colors, but make me forget what the colors are called.
Malt.
Oh my God, Akino.
Seltzer for the rest, and I'm gonna do exactly that. I'm gonna drink it halfway down on top of the seltzer because
it's a bottle of copium at me. How dare?
A light. You know what? Maybe this isn't a light. This is Democracy Drafts. Democracy Drafts Light, which is what's in the vending machine. We'll get to that when we add some seltzer. But it's a heady, thick and creamy kind of stout. Apparently it's alcoholic. It's probably about 3 to 5%. I did this math a while ago.
Thick and creamy, you say?
Right where you want it to be. A little bit of bite of the hops.
I had to, I'm sorry. I had to, I'm sorry.
Probably I could add like another scoop, so to speak, and it'd be fine. Maybe even a lot more than that, honestly. I'm not sure. I'm just being a little careful here. But yeah, like you get this nasal bite, that bitterness, you know, the things that you get in a hoppy beer. It's not like a crazy IPA or anything like that, but it's not
my God.
far off from
Jesus, Galaxy.
Let's see what it would be like if we thin it out just a little bit.
That blue man mean by that? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Let's see how that is. A little thinned out.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's a light beer.
There you go.
I still think we could put a little more hops in there. Yeah, Dank and Stormy. Oh, that's probably why it's called Dank and Stormy.
Oh my God, Greg.
Right, there we go. That's it, man. That's so good. Wow, now I'm kind of wondering what like hopped Coca-Cola would taste like. I bet that'd be really cool. It's like a chocolate stout. Honestly.
Amazing.
I know it's
Greg,
not,
please,
like,
right, Comey? Right?
A lot more going on. Here
He doesn't know.
But like, if I said to you,
he just keeps
he
just keeps on going. I swear to God.
Oh, I guess order some hops oil from Corny Kegs. I want to point out too, not a sponsor, not a sponsor. I paid for this stuff. I paid for all of this. He's just a very nice guy. I don't want you to think I'm getting a lot of free stuff from him. We've had a cup of Liberty and our democracy drink.
Oh, he's gone now, chat.
Taste of Democracy, the #1 soft drink in the galaxy. And I didn't know what that
He's gone now, chat. We've reached the point of the episode where Greg is officially fucking gonzo.
Flavor polls. So I checked, what's the most popular flavor? Well, you know what? It turns out it's vanilla. So vanilla is the world's most popular flavor, according to Data Central. 81% of consumers love or like vanilla. And
wow, 81%? Damn. Okay.
For the spice remains so great that it's estimated that there are at least 18,000 products on the market today that contain vanilla flavor. There you have it, folks, straight from the horse's mouth. Everyone loves vanilla.
Second most expensive spice, yeah.
What do I do with that? A vanilla beverage?
Crog to the Liberty.
Cream soda is vanilla, so I'm gonna make cream soda. Kind of. I'm gonna make a crummy cream soda.
Kind of, he says. Kind of.
Because if you check out Darcy O'Neill's channel, he will teach you how to make a very good cream soda, and it involves a lot of ingredients I don't have on hand. It's not the only reason. One is because, like, that's his version. You should go check him out. Two is because this is Super Earth. We don't do things right here, okay?
Dude, a bunch of cuts hell balls must be manually armed.
His is just like fucking in the stratosphere. It's way better. So how do you make cream soda? You need to make vanilla syrup. How do you make vanilla syrup? Well, there's the smart way and the stupid way. And the stupid way is to use a vanilla bean.
Yep.
Because if you put a vanilla bean into simple syrup or sugar, you will wait a very long time for it to start to taste like vanilla. I mean, like an insane amount of time. So I'm just gonna use a couple of extracts here. We're gonna use a regular plain old vanilla extract, and I'm gonna use a little bit of their lemon extract. Totally unnecessary, I think, in my opinion, because like you probably won't know the difference, but hey, a little bit of brightness in there. I'm gonna go, like for 250, I'm gonna go with 1 milliliter. And if that's not really enough, then I'll add 1 more, but like 1 mil is a lot.
Vanilla syrup.
It's a lot. I mean, like the whole room reeks of vanilla now. It smells like I was about to say something locker room-ish. Never mind. So
Greg, hello?
Itty bitty drops of this lemon, like even that's maybe
amazing. Yo, Earthly, what's going on, friend? How you doing? How are you, buddy? I hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well.
I think so. Yeah, and the lemon adds a little in there. A lot of people say, Greg, you don't do enough non-alcoholic stuff on the show. I'm trying.
Chad is striving to give Chef a concussion tonight. Right, oh my god. Made your home finally vacation was fun? Good to hear, bud. Good to hear.
Oh, is that dry?
Oh.
No way. I drank all of that? You bastard.
You bastard.
No. How'd I do that?
5 gallons of seltzer in 3 days. What the fuck, Greg?
Because my keg full of seltzer is empty, because I drink seltzer like a fiend, I'm gonna make it with my drink mate, which I love, by the way. I love this drink mate. It's just that now that I have a kegerator.
Chad about to give Chef a concussion tonight. Kiddo, you must have missed it earlier. Somebody already redeemed Suffer.
Water, which it is.
So my brain case has been rattled a little bit already.
Seltzer on tap is perhaps the greatest luxury I have yet acquired. Even though it's not really, I mean, it's a tap, but it's not like on demand. Like I have to make it in kegs. Anyway,
it's a cool device.
Pop.
Usually soft drinks are a 3-to-1 or 4-to-1 ratio for the syrup, so it kind of depends on how sweet your syrup is and how sweet you want your final product to be. By the way, I do want to point out that Whiskey is my official glassware provider, and if you need beautiful glassware for your home bar or just for your home in general, you can use the link in the pin comment below or up here in the corner. You will get 15% off of your entire order at Whiskey. So thank you, Whiskey, for the beautiful glasses. Here we go. This is, I think, the cheapest way to make a soft drink for the galaxy. The Taste of Democracy. #1 soft drink in the galaxy.
The Taste of Democracy.
I am contractually obliged to say that. And it's delicious.
Ministry of Truth proves.
Really goes a long way to brighten this
Ministry
thing
of Truth
up.
proves.
It tastes like cream soda. And one thing I like in my Taste of Democracy, the #1 soft drink in the galaxy that leads all the flavor polls, is a dash or two of Angostura bitters.
Of course,
Super Earth Angostura
Greg, of course you would. Greg, of course you would.
We pay to spread managed democracy to the far reaches of the galaxy. But yeah, also tastes good.
Of course you would.
I was a little fizzy on the way down. It's like swallowing a golf ball. It's fantastic.
What?
I mean, it's really delicious. It's very unobjectionable. If anything, it's maybe a little too sweet. You could thin it out with some more seltzer.
Amazing.
So basically, it tastes like cream soda with Angostura bitters in it, which is like cream
no
soda
way.
with cinnamon and allspice and maybe even a drop of clove. And what is in that? There's something else in there that I'm picking up on with this. It's funny, when you combine flavors, you get different things.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's two very different and distinct flavor profiles.
Two things separately, but that new thing in between them.
Bro, it's a liquid. What up, Brahman? How's it going?
There's a cocktail that people make with the Taste of Democracy. #1 soft drink in the galaxy.
Oh, that's a good feeling. Yeah.
To make
just dropping a 500 kg on a bug nest and watching it evaporate.
Super Earth something artillery.
There it goes.
That was a drink that was based on the #1 soft drink in the galaxy. What would it taste like? What would
it's always fun running up to a Sea artillery.
Have gin? I think no. I think Super Earth has vodka and stronger vodka, also known as Everclear.
Oh, right, so no!
One, I think you drink this out
no,
of a
he's
jar
not.
Tin can.
Oh,
so
no! Not the Everclear, Greg. No.
For thematic reasons, Everclear is just double the price.
Oh, no!
It's like the way to think of it, right? Or near enough. It's pure ethanol.
There's easier ways to die.
it's the same as using 2 ounces of 100 proof vodka. That's it. As long as you mix it properly, right? You're not supposed to drink it.
Yes, see if he's making a mini nuke.
Gross. So let's start with that.
Ramen, this is Greg, the guy behind the YouTube channel How to Drink. He's very funny and very knowledgeable.
Syrup. Normally you would make this drink with a bottle of Taste of Democracy, but since we have the syrup, we're going to do it that way. If I said 2 ounces, I was lying. I meant 1.5 ounces.
Democracy syrup.
Lemon juice here. Where do they get it from in outer space? I don't know. Actually, no, we're not going to use any lemon juice. I just realized thematically that's wrong. We're going to use this. This is ginger extract, also courtesy of Darcy O'Neill.
Ginger extract. Holy shit.
2 drops of ginger extract. This is super duper hot. 1, 2, that doesn't feel like enough. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Oh no.
I made it for the Perca-Cola episode that so few of you watched, so go check that one out. Oh, don't even bother. That's the weirdest thing. That's the only episode on how to drink.
Greg, why would you add that many? Why would you add that many?
I hope that you do, but I don't give a shit. I think we just need seltzer now. I think this is it. I think that bitters and extracts you could get anywhere in Super. Well, not anywhere, but you could probably get. Fresh fruit, I don't know about that. Super Earth Armed Forces Artillery, that's it. It doesn't have numbers on it. It looks like a 16-inch gun, which I did calculate. It's like a 406 millimeter or something like that. That's good. That's a cacophony of flavors in there. It's like sweet and lemony.
Oh my
I want some more
god.
ginger out of it, actually.
Oh boy.
He'd
be like, oh. One sip would be able to kill 10 and 13th century peasants.
Ginger syrup with this and a lot of it. It grabs you by the throat.
Feed this to a Victorian era child. I want to see them explode at the spot.
It's soft drink sweet. Which
they're gonna take one sip of that and just evaporate into the ether.
Honestly, hardened though they may be, I assume that Helldivers are clones nonetheless, but basically
I can feel my liver growing just by watching him drink it.
like young, smooth-brained, dumb boys that they shoot out of space to kill each other. Be easily propagandized, if you will. So, yeah, it should, to me, taste like pretty immature. And the vanilla is nice, it's sweet, it's a cream soda, but with like, kick.
A cream soda with a kick. Yeah, you don't say, Greg. You don't say.
A little bit louder. I want to do it just a little bit more of this stuff, and actually maybe even quite a bit more. Let's do like half a mil. Watch, I just turned it into like something insane by doing that. Just like ridiculously hot.
Oh no, Greg. Oh no, Greg.
That'll put hair on your chest. Yowza.
Damn.
That feels appropriate. So this has been Helldivers 2, a cocktail story.
Good
I don't know.
Lord.
We made Liberty, we made Democracy Drafts, we made Taste of Democracy or Taste of Freedom. I forget which one this one was. There was one of them we didn't do. And also an SEAF artillery, which I didn't plan to do, but it kind of came together, and it's quite tasty.
Absolutely insane.
For smooth-brained Helldivers.
Absolutely wild, chat. Holy moly. Absolutely insane. A mason jar with Everclear, some bitters, and what else? Mason jar with Everclear, some bitters, and some flavoring. Pretty much, yeah. That was a choice. Thanks, Milligram. Thanks. Thanks. Part of a Coca-Cola Alex. Pretty much. Bro feels like he got hit to the fit started by a zebra. Yeah. He shot out the special stims. He's seeing colors that ain't real. For anyone, thank you, Tapper. Appreciate that. For anyone curious, once again, that was Greg from the How to Drink YouTube channel. Very, very funny dude, very informative, and a lot of the episodes rather he does are really, really fun to watch. Let me do y'all a favor. Hang on, I'm gonna grab his channel so I can share it with you. Because some of the more recent videos he's done actually that we didn't watch today, he like sat down with he sat down with Tim Kaine, the creator of the Fallout franchise, to just talk like Fallout, like the history of like the creation of the game, and also they made Nuka-Cola from scratch, which is go watch that episode. It's really fucking good. There's the channel. Go give Greg a follow. Like legitimately, dude is super funny and super interesting, and like he's got really good videos. Yeah. Like goddamn. Watching these streams and just enjoying your presence, to quote a Joey from EDH gives me the happiness. Oh, well, thank you, Doc. I appreciate that. Thank you. That made my day. That really made my day. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. All right, chat. We are gonna wrap it up there. We're gonna wrap up stream there. I got some dishes to clean up from dinner. I'm gonna go chill and vibe for the rest of the night. Okay. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me today. I appreciate it. Last stream of the week is gonna be on Wednesday. Last stream of the week is gonna be on Wednesday. It's gonna be on the New York Snark Exchange channel. We're gonna be playing Chained together. It's gonna be fun because that game legitimately looks really interesting. That game looks really interesting. Like, take the concept of only up, but chain 3 people together. Like, no, sorry, chain 4 people together. That shit's gonna be funny. Oh, I can't wait. It's gonna be a nightmare. It's gonna be an absolute nightmare. So thank y'all for joining me tonight. I do appreciate it. Let me see who to raid. Oh, you know what? I know exactly who to raid. Because chat, if you follow any member of the Common Rider Watch Along crew, you will know one member, Dr. Swoos. Well, today is a very special day, chat. Today is a very special day. Today is Swoos's birthday. So it's only appropriate we go raid Swoos. We're gonna go raid the birthday boy. Very simple raid message for y'all tonight. Oh, ads. God damn it. That's unfortunate. But yeah, very simple raid message for y'all tonight. Go wish Swoos a happy birthday. I'm probably gonna join him in a little bit because he has an open invite for anyone in the Watch Along crew. All right, have a good night, everybody. I'll catch you on Wednesday. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.